XboxEra. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, XboxEra.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the XboxEra podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon-exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Everything XboxEra does is only made possible by our community and the growing army of incredible Patreon supporters. Our executive producers and MVPs are an amazingly generous bunch, only shown up by the incredible support of our grand benefactors, Cryat56 and Assassin Entertainment. All of this under the watchful eye of our lovely XboxEra CEO, Torn Raptor. This community is the best one on the internet, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra and pledge your support. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 260 of the XboxEra podcast. We're here to discuss all of the latest in gaming from across the industry, but overall, we're focused on your favorite platform, Xbox. Big shout out to all of the community and our patrons that make it all possible, our MVPs, our executive producers, but especially our grand benefactors, Cryat56 and Assassin Entertainment, and of course, our wonderful CEO, Torn Raptor. I am joined, as always, by a very happy man in a very happy new room. Special Nick. What's going on? We've got the lovely video game machine, Jesse.
Hello.
Here again. And we're joined by special guest, Kahlief Adams from Spawn on Me. Welcome, Cal. How you doing?
Hence, thank you so much for having me. It has been, I've been waiting, anticipating, sitting in the wings, sitting on the pine, ready to get the call up to the major leagues, and now I get a chance to come and hang out with the best.
Bro, we are chopped liver.
Yeah. We're just really bad at reaching out to people.
Chopped liver is actually just pate and chopped liver, same thing. Expensive.
Straight into the cooking memes. Oh no,
quality right there, baby. I appreciate it. But thank y'all for having me. Excited to be rocking with y'all tonight.
It's a pleasure, mate.
Thanks,
a pleasure.
man.
It's good to have you on board. It's been a week. It's been an absolute. If you love video games, it's been a crazy week, right? There is so much to talk about and play and enjoy. And we're going to dig into that. But before we do that, as always, we have a special guest. We want to talk about Carl. What's he been up to? And for those that don't know you or know your work, you've done a bunch of remarkable things. And I want to talk about one in particular, which is the Spawnies. Yeah. This one kind of blew my mind a little bit. This is an awards ceremony that you effectively put together as part of your show and panel with Spawn on Me, right?
Yeah. We're in almost year 4 of the Spawnies. Wow. We're trying to keep it alive, so to speak, because it's been a hard time out here trying to find funding for award shows, self-made ones, by the way. I came up with an idea. I was being like, we'd seen the big major award shows kind of happen over the past couple of years, and shout out to folks like the Golden Joysticks and the BAFTAs and the Game Awards, of course, being in the space. But a big conversation that was happening for multiple years was we're not hearing anything from the developers. We don't get a chance to talk to them. We don't get a chance to hear them speak.
An actual award show, like the rest of the industries do. Just ads.
Yeah, exactly. Less ads, more people, right? Great tasting, less filling. But one of those things where, I heard that as a part of it in the kind of baseline, foundational thing of what Spawn on Me does is spotlight people of color, spotlight underrepresented voices in the space. And I was like, there has to be a in between space where we can kind of do both at the same time while also, showcasing the best of what the gaming industry gets a chance to share every year. And we've been doing the Spawnies again for the past 3 years. We're continuing to try to figure out how we can get it done for this year. We skipped last year, or it usually happens in February of every year. So we skipped this year because we couldn't get funding. It was a really weird time. You had the LA fires, you had all the kind of stuff happening. It's kind of weird. It's carnage, and it seems really gross to just ask people for money. When all the real life things are happening, and trying to make be cognizant of those things. But yeah, we're at least from the last time I counted, we're probably doing over 300,000 views a show.
Wow.
Which is great. It's a self-run, basically me doing it by myself every year. With my co-host Rihanna Manuel Pena gets to come and rock with me and hang out. And yeah, we mash up everything in that conversation. The great music, again, showcasing the devs and what they get a chance to do, and having it all fan voted removes me from being called a shill every year. And people being like, so we know that you like to play these games, and it seems like those are the ones that win all the time. I was like, yeah, if it was up to me, it would just be fighting games winning every game of the year. But it's nice because it adds not a layer of importance of the fan vote, which I think is really important. It gives us a kind of pulse of the industry and the pulse of the player in that way, because again, like, the community is what builds and brings all this fun to the space. But for me, I always am trying to do something that is extremely high quality, something that feels professional and feels like I want to feel like we can stand up to the big boys in that way as a solo project that's just coming out of my basement and my brain.
But I empathize, like this show is held remotely in 3 different countries. The time zone juggling is a freaking nightmare. And yet we, 6 years in, we've kind of crawled out. But Jesse's proven to us how remarkably great remote production can be, considering like all of the hurdles of bandwidth and latency and yada yada.
Thanks to Predrag, making it look really good with his artwork.
Fair shout to our art and design lead Predrag, because he does make everything look much better than we could.
Yeah, we have no budget.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of talentless hacks.
No, that's a lie and a half.
Only him.
But I think we've broken bread. I know who that man is. But it's that kind of stuff, right? I think most of the things, I'm in year 11 of doing Spawn on Me. I started this show with at a kitchen table back home when I was living in Brooklyn, New York. I'm from New York originally, now on the West Coast in Portland. But it was a moment of trying to figure out, like, what can you bring to a conversation? What can you bring to the industry that you love and around this hobby that has given me everything that I have, and try to find a way to give back, but also stretch your creative mind and your bones a little bit, and say, like, I see what's out there, and we're in this interesting space now in terms of content creation. I'm sure you all can speak to this. Is that we're
going to get deep on this. I get the feeling we're going to get deep on this show about some of the things that suck about doing this, and some of the things that are great. I mean, it's a good conversation to have, so I'm all for it.
Well, not even. I'll spin it, in a positive way. No, but like I think that there has been. I think, and I can speak for myself on this, and I'm sure we're I know you and I are pretty close in age, but it's like when we started to get into this space and start to do this thing, there was a level of quality that people had an aspirational goal towards. And now you can throw whatever the hell you want on a podcast, and people will buy it and sop it up and eat it and be like, yeah, I want more of that gross, terrible thing that didn't have any production value or made any sense.
The little Discord bubbles in the corner with some really choppy gameplay? Like, that's most.
And I'm like, yo, what happened to people trying, right? I grew up in a space where people tried.
Yes.
and had an idea and tried to build something and try to, again, make something that people would be proud of, and be able to put out there and be like, after all of this is gone, I can look at my resume and put this on a resume and be like, this is what the fruits of those labor, bore out for that stuff. And that's not a thing anymore. That has gone away. And and to a certain extent, I'm a dinosaur in that belief. But that's the way I go into this thing every year. And I think, for the past 3 years, going from, doing the show remotely the first year during COVID, and then getting a chance to partner up with our friends over Kind of Funny and use their studio to be the year 2 and year 3, and now me looking at an even bigger studio to go do this show in. That's going to be pretty dope if we can get it to work out and get paid for it. It would be rad to be able to be the Keeley of my era. I look up to him, and he gets a lot of crap, but I appreciate what he's been able to build with not only his name and his lineage, but just like he had an idea at some point. It was like, I want to do this thing, and I'm like, why can't I do that too? I can do that. I just need people to ride with me, and I need people to pay attention to it and share the good words to it. So Spawnies has been a labor of love. It's probably the thing I love the most at this point in getting a chance to do this kind of work.
It's interesting though with Keeley, like there's a phrase I use when I discuss like the content creator space, and it's like, I respect the hustle. Yeah. Right. And there is a level of and I'm going to be careful with my words, because there are some content creators that I personally will never watch because it is not for me, right? Yeah. Like, and a lot of it is the stuff that is deliberately like antagonistic and just outwardly negative, right? And frustratingly, and I'm not sure how many people watching, I think our community is pretty on the level, so I think most of them are here because they don't like watching that stuff. Some people find it entertaining, some people watch it just for the lulls, but I find that the relentless, like, I'm going to find a thing and I'm going to attack a thing, or I'm going to mock this thing.
It's radio. You take a side, I take the other side, and we argue at each other, and that's all like talk radio is. And people have brought that over into podcasting.
Yeah, I dislike it immensely, right? And I find no value in that. But at the same time, to a certain point, I'm like, that's their bag. They can get their bag, right? Yeah. And I think our approach with what we've done here is arguably quite similar to what you've done, is like focus on quality, focus on being an even keeled voice, right? Yeah. So like, hey, we'll call out crap when we think it's crap. We'll praise stuff when we think it's good. But in general, it's conversational. It's if there's something complex to talk about, well, let's actually explain it through and communicate with the audience. Whereas some stuff is like, no, you need to get angry about this and go get mad at these people. And it's just like, I find no value in that. But the respect the hustle kind of sweeps in. So when I think about Keeley, like a lot of people give, like you said, you give him a lot of shit. Yeah. Because, he is ad sponsored out the wazoo, and he's got to balance all of these things with all of the money that generates and yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, to your point, he had the idea and he went and did it. Respect the hustle, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to walk my way through that, but it's
you're right.
It's this business.
No, you're right. I mean, again, like I was watching. We just talked about talk radio. I just watched a thing that Stephen A. Smith was talking about a couple minutes ago on Twitter, and he said something that really resonated with me. He was like, everybody wants to be independent, but when you do have sponsors, you are now beholden to a layer of that, for not only for the financial responsibility layers that go along with it, but just the ability to give you guardrails around where you want your content to go, right? And one of the things that I've prided myself on, and again, what you gents have done, is nuance is a really interesting and interesting kind of layer of where we are now. Like, nuance isn't a commodity anymore. Like, being mad at everything is a commodity now. And when I look at the you were extremely kind by not naming the names of the people who we know are in that space and doing that stuff, and I won't either.
It's the wisest course.
All I'll say is, like, look, I think the people who are the loudest voices that we continuously see within the discourse, air quotes, the discourse, most of those folks have never held a real job. Most of those folks haven't been adults. Most of those folks don't know how to clean their own asses. Most of those folks don't know how to do the work of being an adult while making content. Huh?
Don't hold back.
Some of them sleep with rats.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I've never not flinched at a bug crawling on me. That's not, like, to be that comfortable in your grossness,
filth.
In your filth, that you can let that happen and just be chill about it. That's weird. But I think even if you remove that part of that conversation, it is really about, like, who are the folks who know things versus the people who are just saying things. And there's a big amalgam of what the space has now become, where it's like lies, but it's like, but like there's a layer of it of like, you know, I said this a couple of months ago. I was like, I want subject matter experts to be at the front of conversations, or at least people who understand things in a tangible, real world way, as opposed to the imaginary beef that people make up in their minds about things that don't matter. Like the world is a much bigger place than you holding a controller. And as much as it has driven so much of my life, I have an understanding of like, I've worked a job in a real world that requires you to get up in the morning and go get a paycheck. I've been a waiter. I've been a salesman. I've taught in a public school. Like I've done things that require you to understand how humans work. And if you don't do that work, you shouldn't be in the content business. You should be doing other stuff. But people attach to that and they pull that in. And again, like bring it back to Keeley. Keeley has understood not only the crux of what is an entertaining a moment every year, even if you like it or not. And I'm trying to do the same thing with Spawnies and Spawnomy every week, is to try to figure out, you know, how am I true to myself and the message that I've been trying to build over almost 12, 13 years, while also trying to figure out good creative ways to be relevant, to continue to do something fun, and to do something that's good for the industry. Like I've had multiple people who we've awarded awards. Like I know this random award that's behind me is sitting in 343 Studios, and another one is sitting in another trophy case in another big studio that you
That's
made.
Awesome, man.
Right? Like
that's so cool.
Something that came out of my brain.
It's so rewarding, isn't it?
It's amazing rewarding. Like we are in the best time. Like I know a lot of people get mad, and this is not me blowing smoke about the world, but like in a technology space, we are in one of the most interesting, amazing times we've ever been in.
Yeah.
And we focus on this weird grossness and these people who have dumb, unreasonable opinions about the way games are made when they've never touched a line of code, or they've never worked at a studio. I've worked at Riot. I've worked at Firewalk. I've worked at a couple of different places. Like I've been in the space where I can look over someone's shoulder and be like, oh, that's how games are made. That's dope. You know, but the energy is like, oh, well, I got a rat growing on my shoulder. Oh, let me make a 25-minute video about the way I think games are made and why DEI chin is a thing. And I'm like, you're idiots. Like this doesn't make any sense.
Goddamn Sweet Baby.
I mean,
like the conversation around Sweet Baby, and it's like we've talked about it on this show where we're like we need to like just be clear about what that company does, right? Because what you've assumed, probably through some bad actors and the discourse in air quotes, is that they come in and go, make that character black, or make them gay, or whatever, right? And that's not. It's the developers have chosen these characters, and then it's like, hey, if you're going to do these things, here's the best way to represent those groups of people. That's it. It's a consultancy firm, and the company, the game development studio, can go, I'm going to ignore all your advice, or they can take it on board. That's the whole point, right? That's it. It's literally like the zero biggest deal ever. And yet the people that work there, the people that have utilized that service, it's just like it's turned into this thing with these people that are like, and that's where I don't respect the hustle anymore. They are grinding out.
That's the grift.
Hey, that's the grift. Yeah, for sure.
And they don't actually care, but they rile people up thinking that they care
for their money. That's what blows my mind. Hey, I'm going to make you mad. Give me money so I can make like.
And people fall for it. And people fall for it. That's the wild thing. But also, like, I want to go back to Sweet Baby really quick. Sweet, if we're gonna give Sweet Baby all this crap for all the things that they've done wrong and all the things they've messed up and how they've ruined games and all this stuff, I want those folks to also give props for Shadows, which was a thing that they consulted on, South of Midnight, which is doing extremely well. It was a game that they consulted on. And again, if we're gonna be honest about what this conversation was from the beginning, it was all misconstrued conversations and discussions from a GDC panel that most of the people who picked that up and took the tidbit that they wanted to run with still don't even understand what DEI is.
Yeah.
Like they don't even know they don't know what any of those terms mean. They don't understand what woke is. They don't understand what those things are.
They think it's essentially that it's unfair when the entire point of it actually is to be fair for a change. Like like if you have a military veteran, everyone loves them and talks all about them, but then they would be a diversity hire because you're bringing in someone that that used to in the past have a really hard time finding work. Because when you've been trained to look at every person as a combatant that you need to be afraid of and kill, it's a hard transition going back to being a regular citizen. And it's not, we're going to give this job to someone of color. It's we are going to consider all the best people for a change in a way we haven't in the past. And that can be anyone.
How dare you?
I know.
It's a fucked up world, man. It makes me sad.
My brother makes a good point. Right. It is unfair to bigots.
Yes, exactly, 1,000%.
But you're right in that it's technologically we're living in a wonderful age. Like Nick is sitting there streaming this, like you're using your iPhone, right, Nick? Like that's your camera, and it's probably one of outside of Carl's camera, one of the best looking cameras on the stream, right? And it's like that's a phone. Like I think your camera looks pretty great, especially with the new room. We
are extremely far away from each other, and yet we're having a perfectly normal conversation that looks and sounds good on the internet. And 10 years ago, that would have been insane to think of.
Yes. I remember what it was like to try to podcast.
We used to do this podcast on Skype.
God, those were
remember that?
Ooh. Yeah. with what was it called? NDI?
Yes.
It was like an application layer to try and pull the feeds like individually.
Yep.
Absolutely bonkers. I can't believe we did that.
Oh,
nightmare.
It was got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
The Stream Deck and the mixer board I have, like Giant Bomb talked about in the past, when they started up, they bought like a $75,000 production thing to be able to do live, to be able to do their streams and have those different camera angles and ingest because ingesting footage was really hard because like the HDMI standard was still new, would always break all the time. Like you needed super expensive equipment, but now I've got an Elgato 4KX Stream Deck and a Go XLR, and I can do more than they could do back then. It's crazy how much cheaper it's all gotten.
Yep.
But it's funny. Speaking of the grift, just quickly, because I do want to acknowledge the wonderful community of folks watching right now, but particularly want to shout out to Cal's Els, who's dropped 5 XboxEra gift memberships, and the lovely Corkenstein, who's also done the same. God bless you. Thank you very much.
I forgot to cheer you when you were coming on, so this is for you, Ka.
Beautiful.
Special, yes, now, like, before we spend too long going down the rabbit hole of, like, how crazy the world is and content creation and things like that, there is obviously one big thing that brings us all together, and that's games. Right. And I'm just curious, like you mentioned you've worked in multiple studios, but how did you get into games? Considering, I know you said you were about the same age as us. Nick's, surprisingly, despite his youthful appearance, is actually the oldest person here, unless you've got him beat.
I'll be 47 this year.
He's got him beat. He's got him beat.
Yeah, I'll be 47 in August.
I'll be 45 in June.
Yeah. I need to borrow some of your blood, man. I need to keep me looking young.
It's that Greek Mediterranean
and Souvlaki.
Oh, see, yeah, man, yeah, buddy. That'll keep you young.
Oh, there's people watching saying that we're young, including Britt, who says youngins the entire lot of you. It's okay, Britt.
I love it.
I feel old.
I feel
it's evidenced by my week of scary medical. Like, oh God, like honestly, like just to be clear to the chat, in case anyone saw my tweet, I had some weird chest pains, which as a man, I dutifully and rightfully ignored for 2 days. And on the third day, I was like, And then I was chatting to my old man about it. He went, my dad had his first heart attack at 39. I'm like, He's like, I had my heart attack at 52. I'm like, right? And he's like, you should probably go get checked out. So I had a bunch of different appointments. And then the third one I went to, they did what's called an ECG, which is where they plug you in, right? And they check everything. You've got the paddles on you. And they were like, it's kind of inconclusive. Like, you might be okay, but the only way to know is to go get some bloods drawn and check if you've got any troponin in your system, which is what your body pumps out if you've had a heart attack. So they were like, I'd just call an ambulance. I'm like, I go home and I'm like, have I just pulled a muscle? Like, this has been 3 days. It's still really hurting. So I took the advice and I called an ambulance, and they came out and they did an ECG, and they were like, yeah, we're going to err on the side of caution. Let's take you in. And then I got to spend a fun day at the hospital. But God bless the UK NHS. I had, brace yourselves. Imagine this bill, fellow Americans on the stream. I had bloods, ambulance ride, a full workup, and a head CT to check everything over, and a chest X-ray. And it was determined that my blood pressure is causing all of the pain, and I've been given some new medication, and I'm set on my way. And my bill was $0.
Wow.
Thank you, NHS. Isn't that great?
I would be already filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah, bad.
Basically.
It sucks. It sucks having to spend 10 hours in a hospital, and mostly you were just being pushed from different waiting rooms and then briefly seen, and then you wait for another 3 hours. But like, I can't knock that. I know what's wrong now. My doctor has now given me new medication. I'm already feeling better. 0 pennies. That's what a great world we live in.
That's amazing.
Socialism, though, isn't it? Eh?
Shout out to countries know what the hell they're doing.
Last time one of my family members had an ambulance ride, it was $2,000.
It's insane.
But it went to a nonprofit place that has it set up, and it was forgiven.
Wow.
So always go to a not-for-profit hospital if you're in America.
Yeah, no doubt.
God. Anyway, before
Madness.
That's a whole different conversation we could get into.
That was a bit of a tangent.
It was, but just in case people were concerned, and because I'm vain like that, I thought I'd keep everyone.
One thing I want to bring up with Cal is, I did notice in the footage earlier that Jesse played of the Spawnies. I was like, I recognize that studio, and then you mentioned how Kind of Funny let you borrow their studio.
Awesome.
So they can change the whole setup that easily, can they?
Yeah. Like, it's all the assets that you saw, I did all in Photoshop, but I bugged them in After Effects and stuff. I was like, give me the dimensions for the desk, give me the dimensions for the wall, and then I can make all the stuff in Photoshop and After Effects and get those things over to them to be able to do.
Yeah, if you go through their shows, it's all digital, so they change it up for everything all over the place.
That's super cool.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They are goals in the ways that I hope to do this show. If I'm still doing this in the next 5 years, like, I have so many ideas of how to kind of turn this into a virtual production in those ways and do something really interesting. But like, they are the sweetest grouping of folks on the planet. Like, and to be fair, like, I always give them massive amounts of love and thank yous, because without them, they helped our show grow and give us that visual polish in a way that they didn't have to. Like, they could have been like, get out of here. You don't know how to make any food. We don't want you to be here. Go away. But I've known Greg for some time, and Tim is one of the biggest sweethearts on the planet. And I think, they also walk the walk, right? Like, I think, they understand the mission of the show. And they rock with that super hard of being like, we want to, give space to people who are trying really hard to do something different. And we the funny thing that people ask me all the time is like, man, how long did it take you to record all that stuff, and how long did it take you to get all those things together? Every year we shoot that thing in an hour.
That's awesome.
So it's because it's pre-recorded and we're not doing it live, and I have everything kind of mapped out, and we freestyle everything. Like, Rihanna and I love her to death, because what it's like when you get chemistry together with people. And I've known her for years, and when I pitched her to be the host, I knew immediately that she was going to be the perfect complement to me on that thing. And we don't have a script. Like, so when you watch all of it, we're just back and forth bantering.
You're just ad-libbing.
We're just ad-libbing the whole show.
Awesome.
And we get it done in about an hour, because we do it between them doing set changes.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we try not to take up too much of their time, and knock it out, and like, knock out about an hour show in about an hour.
Wow, that's unreal.
Yeah,
that's so cool. It's so cool. It's funny. I bumped into Snowbike Mike while I was in San Fran for GDC, and I made him make me a promise. And I'm not gonna like, I got a DM from Mike yesterday. So I sent out review copies for Console Wars, but I did something special with Kind of Funnies because like, and the backstory here is, and look, Kind of Funny, they're busy guys, right? They do like literally daily shows. Look how beautiful that is.
Congratulations too. It's so good.
I mean, man, like seeing the reaction of people has been super cool. But yeah, I made Mike, because we sent Kind of Funny like a beta deck, and like I'm not trying to guilt trip you, like Mike, Tim, if anyone ends up watching this from the show, I'm not trying to guilt trip you guys, but the beta decks were prohibitively expensive to produce. But I sent one anyway because I was like, oh my god, if they play it on stream, that would be so cool, right? Kind of Funny are massive, right? And great. And I sent it, and they were like, yeah. But then I think Tim went to go get married or went on his honeymoon or whatever, and it just didn't end up happening, and I was sad. But then I saw Mike, and I was like, hey, you know, I sent him blah, blah, blah. If I send you a review copy, you got to do a stream, man. And he was like, I promise. So in their copy, and I had to mark it for the fulfillment center, there's a note in there that said, Snowbike Mike promised. And we all know that when Snowbike Mike makes a promise, he keeps his promises. Sure. So now I've guilt tripped them, and hopefully they'll do something fun with it.
Love Mikey.
He's the worst Twitter replier on earth.
He is literally like, he's asked me this question. He's like, hey, can I show this? Can I talk about it? And I was like, you guys don't do traditional reviews like all the time with like scores and loads of paragraphs. Like, but so yeah, you can go and talk about it. I'm not fussy. He probably will never see the reply to his question. he just does not. But he and Twitter just, they don't get on. I don't know. He doesn't log into that thing very often, I feel. But bless him, he's such a cool dude. Now it has been a hell of a week for video games. But before we get into that, I do need to give Nick his special time in the sun, because Nick is here with a brand new room that he's been working very hard on. He skipped the show, I think, last week.
Destroyed his foot.
Wrecked my foot.
Tell us about this journey of creating this beautiful studio that you have behind you, Nick, because I know you're dying to. Come on. Just fill us in. Look, Jesse's out. He's had enough.
We remember how I said a while back we were thinking about moving because this house was getting too small for us?
Yeah.
The kids didn't want to go. I didn't particularly want to go. And then when my daughter agreed to move downstairs into the room that I had done the podcast in for the last 5.5 years, that has now changed everything, because she now has a bigger wardrobe and her own ensuite, which is great for her, 13-year-old. And now my son has gone right behind me. He's behind this wall in her old room, which is a much bigger room for a young boy. And now I'm back in the original study in here, and with new carpet. And my God, this wall was such an ordeal over the weekend, because I'm not a handyman. I'm the most useless fucking guy on earth. where my dad is like the complete. You know how there's those old school handymen? They're
my dad, bro.
They're electricians. They're carpenters. Yep. They're Mr. Fix-Its that can just fucking do it. That's my dad
has an eternal, huge amount of just constant disappointment in me, because I can't do these.
It's like my dad
things.
hates me,
and to the point where my best mate Tom, who helped me build this house and this office that I'm in, he stayed with my folks and worked on their house. He's worked on this house, to the point where they actually put a plaque on my old fucking bedroom that said Tom's room. And like, I go round there, and he's having breakfast, bacon and eggs. I'm like, whenever I stayed, I never got bacon and eggs as an adult. And they were like, yeah, but he's our cuckoo child. And that's my life, because he's good at DIY. So I empathize.
That is fantastic, actually.
It's not fair. But you did it. The wall looks fantastic.
It looks great.
Yeah. So those wood panel things, it was to help with acoustics, because I used to do it in a room that had floorboards, so it's a little bit echoey. But man, those panels, those slats you see back there, because there's the skirting board at the bottom, I'm like holding them up, trying to position them, thinking that's how they look. Fucking bang, drops straight onto my foot. And then like an hour later, bang, drops again onto the exact same spot. Took a photo, showed Jesse. I was like, look at my foot. And there's this huge lump sticking out of my foot. I was like, oh my God, it hurts so much.
No.
man.
But the finished product it's not bad. And my wife's office setup is now right next to me. And I just bought, you can't see it, but right here, there's a 42-inch LG C4 OLED, which is where all my gaming will be done now.
Nice.
Eventually, where you see Ralph, eventually there'll be like a little single-seater couch there that I can just sit there and play my games here. So
That's
I'm happy with this setup. It's nice.
I like the boom arm. I think it's looking very
that had to
professional,
happen.
isn't
I was tired of the stand thing. I had
it?
to
Yeah,
do the boom thing.
it's cool.
But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this room. It's pretty good.
That's rad.
Well, it's nice you've got a good space to play games in because, good
Yeah.
lord, 2025 and the onslaught of awesome video games has definitely continued unabated. Like I don't even know where to start this week. So this is typically like, what have we been playing? So we'll start with our guest. Have you had a chance to play all of the fantastic things that have released this week, or what are you playing at the moment? What are you diving into?
Oh my God, there's too many things. I finished up Clair Obscur. So our review is up on our YouTube channel and stuff. So I'm sure we'll dig into that later on the show. So that was fantastic and brilliant. Playing City of Wolves, Fatal Fury. I'm sorry. If you're a big fighting game SNK fan, that game is
That's
that game is
Nick's
pretty
bag.
good. Pretty good. And most of the time so far has been Oblivion and the marathon beta, which has been a ton of fun. Like
Interesting.
that thing has got its hooks in me in a real way.
I just checked my email and saw that the code went to my spam. So all this time I could have been playing, and I'm like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That thing
I
is
had
good.
I had a quick go on marathon.
Yeah. There's some trepidation in your voice. I hear it.
Yeah, like I'm reserving judgment because I want to sit down with a group of friends and actually play as a team, right?
Yep.
Rather than randos. But my initial thoughts are like this. I can't think of a better way to say it. It doesn't feel like a Bungie game to me. It feels like I can't think of a kinder way to say it. It feels like the other extraction shooters, kind of like. Do you know what I mean? Like the art style, I kind of jive with, but then I'm indoors and I'm like, this is cool looking, but weirdly flat. Like I can't think of a better way, but weirdly flat. Not in a good way. And then I go outside, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't look as great as the indoors. And look, it's an alpha. It's not coming out till September, but the game dev inside me, the armchair analyst, is like, how much can realistically change between now and September outside of balance patches and some polish and shine? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm reserving judgment. Like I'm sure it's going to be a perfectly great extraction shooter, but my gut says, is that enough in the year of our Lord 2025?
Yeah, I'm really
comparatively to the rest of the industry.
I didn't see a hook.
Not so sure.
I know that there's a lot not in there, so it's very much a reserved judgment overall. But initial impressions were this feels kind of like Apex. I don't know. For me, in the extraction thing, I do like the more tactical, slower, and more clear loop on why I want to go in and get stuff and come back. Like I don't think like that contract grind. And hearing them say they're kind of just starting the story up, supposedly, like, I don't know. I'm very curious. I think it'll launch and do a lot better than people keep talking about Concord. It's like, no, it's not gonna be like Concord. It'll launch. Right. It'll do fine. It plays well. They'll work on the color and the HDR, and I'm sure things will pop a lot better because they were really good with that in Destiny too. But the initial impression was like, unless I had a group that got really into it, I wouldn't see myself playing it for more than like a weekend at this stage. I got to see what can they change or what's not being shown yet.
But I guess it's got its hooks in you, Carl. So like, have you been playing with like a group of mates that you regularly play games with, and that's part of the reason? Or you like what are you loving about Marathon? I don't want to be the only negative takes on the narrative side of things.
And I don't even think your takes are negative. I think your takes are pretty grounded. I think if you were to ask most people who have been playing it, they would agree with you in a lot of those aspects. I think the gameplay loop is going to be the hard part of trying to figure out exactly where this thing is going to land. And I think even me as a person who's played probably up to like level almost 30 or something in that thing.
Matt plays a lot of games.
Yeah, my carpal tunnel says what's up. But it's like it's that thing of like, as a person whose favorite extraction shooters were Division 2's Dark Zone and Call of Duty's DMZ. Like, I love those versions of extraction shooters. I didn't really get a chance to play Hunt. I suck on mouse and keys, so Tarkov wasn't really my thing. But knowing that this is going to be on console and feels good and has that Bungie, gun feel that I think is coming through, I'm finding every session that I go in, I'm poking at the systems and finding new things that I'm like, oh, that's really smart. But if you refine it, you'll have gold if you can nail that thing. But I think even when I talk about or think about most extraction shooters in its kind of totality in that genre, it's always a weird thing of like, so what are you actually doing? Yeah. Right? You're like, I'm making my runs, going in. If you're not trying to play super sweaty and basically trying to, play spoiler for other people, what's the thing for you? And it is that kind of like map awareness, the sweatiness of the pacing of playing slow versus fast. I think the saving grace for that game, that actually it's a weird bullet point that actually has me really excited, or is a part of the fun, is how aggressive the AI is. The AI in this game does not care about your life. It does not care about you. It doesn't care about you. It's coming for you. It is like the Terminator is coming for you in all of the old movies. And that part is cool because it changes the way you think about fights in a lot of different ways. So you're really trying to not make noise, but also getting away from these little pockets of bots that are extremely aggressive. You have to take them out. If you don't, they will end your life. I had one of those bots roll up on me, say hello, and then kick me in the chest and have me on the ground. I was like, yo, I pay my taxes. Leave me alone. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm a good human being. Why are you trying to do this to me? And they don't care. And I like that part of it because it changes the minutia of what does it feel like to be in firefights all the time when you're playing something like Call of Duty where you don't care about your life at all. Yeah. Like if I die, I die. I'm going to spawn back in, and that's whatever it may be.
Well, you can take advantage of like other players. Like, hey, they're getting pinned down or they're engaging those aggressive bots. You can be watching from on high and then mop up afterwards and, throw a spanner in the works. There are those tactical options to it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the third partying like you would do in an Apex, or you do in a again like Warzone or something like that. Like it applies here, but with less people.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that one of the things that we wound up doing last night, I was playing with a couple of friends because you can't play that game by yourself. Like you can do it solo, but if you're gonna go solo, you have to be really prescriptive about what you're trying to do, which I think is really important. So like, if I play that game solo, I am very much looking to build out my faction stuff, right? If I choose to get into a spicy fight, I'm really looking for the other lone wolves that's kind of roaming and catching them off guard and taking them out. But I think if you are playing in a squad, that just changes so much of the dynamic of how that thing plays because you're actually paying attention. You're actually coordinating. You're thinking about small things, which are like, my two teammates got knocked down last night. They were dead. With nothing but boxes left. And usually in a scenario like that, you're like, I'm going to go out and try to kill everybody and do that thing. The smartest tactic you can do is just don't do anything. Run away. Yeah. Go run away. Go like a couple meters away, and then circle back, and your folks are still there because everybody else at that point is left. You go pick your people up and you continue to do what you need to do. Now, the crux of what this game is going to wind up doing, I think, is going to be problematic for them when they haven't figured out exactly what to do with this yet, is if you're playing and you have, like, I think a 30-minute time limit for each round, there's a final exit at the end of it. There's an exfil where you get a chance to kind of leave at the end, and it's basically open for everyone. So it's like the last ditch effort to get out with any of your loot. By the time most people are at that level of like 8 to like 10 minutes, 8 minutes left, most people have already exfilled. They've already left. So there isn't a lot of stuff to actually do besides shoot bots and get and the, you know, what you want in a game like this is you want those everyone's coming to the middle to go to that exfil and figure out how to battle your way out. But but the way it's kind of built, there isn't a lot of reason for that because you don't have like the circle in a battle royale, right? You don't have that thing that's pushing
the
you.
final coming together of everybody.
Right. You don't have a thing that's nudging you towards a specific space. So that changes the way you think about that last thing. So you can kind of chill. And that takes a lot of the actual like spiciness out of that thing. So I think they have a lot of discussions internally to try to figure out like what is the full, like want from a match besides getting looting and having those occasional fights. And the second thing that they have to figure out is just like, spawn placement, like if you shouldn't feel like you are automatically getting into a fight as soon as you get into a spawn. Like, and I've had one where it wasn't immediate, but it was close enough that I was like, if you came in kitted up and had a whole bunch of stuff, I'm definitely dying because I didn't come in with any of my stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And if you have that,
that's always been a Bungie thing from the Halo days.
Right. And Call of Duty gets it wrong all the time. And I think Bungie has less space to do it with as well. Because those maps are the way the map looks feels much bigger when you're in it, but it feels like you can get to each POI pretty quickly if you're hustling and getting your things together. So that's going to be a part of it too. So like, what's the main gameplay loop? What's the spawning look like? And then, what do you do with those moments?
How are they going to keep people coming back? Like that's the big thing. Cause they might have a really big launch. Like a lot of games have launched fine. It's just super hard to keep anyone interested, especially when you're launching the same day as Borderlands 4. You're launching 10 days before Ghost of Yōtei. Like, Call of Duty's probably a couple weeks after that. GTA might be around that time as well. Like, they're smack dab in the middle of Microsoft's probably going to have like a bunch of stuff. It's really, really hard to keep people playing. Like, we even saw it with, you could say Oblivion had 2 days where it really went crazy, and it's kind of quieted down. And people were immediately on to Expedition 33. Like, it's very hard to stay as the hot new thing that everyone's talking about and watching people stream for more than a week.
I think the other problem they have is and you mentioned it, kind of the sweatiness angle is most people don't want to just play sweaty games all the time. There's a very competitive hardcore group that love those kinds of extraction experiences. And I guess my gut was like, okay, if Bungie's doing it, Bungie are going to do something magical to bring this genre, this burgeoning genre, and they're going to do like what Fortnite did or PUBG did for Battle Royale, right? They go, boom, here's extraction shooter, motherfuckers. And then I play it and I'm like, they haven't done that yet. And I think that's the biggest thing for me is I'm like, I know plenty of people that love the sweat. Right? I like the sweat.
Yeah.
But I don't like the sweat all the time. Like,
and it's a niche of a niche of a niche too.
Yeah, and I feel like that is a big challenge for these guys. Yeah. But hey, like game developers make the games that they want to make. Like no one's ordered Bungie to make an extraction shooter. This is what they want to do with the IP of Marathon. Yeah. And it's certainly at this point, it's a competent extraction shooter. But we're sitting here from our, pundit armchairs going, how are you going to make this work? Guess we'll find out. Nothing's going to stop the train.
And Nick will tell you, all of these live service games, they need to do cross-promotion with different IP, and I don't think this art style jives super easily with that. It is pretty unique and cool-looking, but if you throw some kawaii, friggin' anime thing in there, it's going to look a bit out of place unless, it's not just going to be super recognizable for fans of this movie or this TV show to come in and I really want this thing that's in this game that's also not free to play. So like
it's actually really interesting. It's actually really interesting to hear you say that because in the Call of Duty space, everyone is now bucking that.
They went so far.
In a weird
they went
way.
Too far.
Right? I was like, how are you gonna hate on Ninja Turtles, man? Like, why are you fronting on
Well,
but it's people who are like, I
Yeah.
want Call of Duty-esque vibes, and I'm like, what? Like,
It's a similar thing with Halo. People were like, "Hey, cat ears," and that was a step too far for so many of them. And
it
it wasn't for me. I
and
got
it
those
also
cat
sold
ears. I put them
unbelievable.
on.
But Fortnite wins because Fortnite is already cartoony, and Call of Duty's not
Fortnite has it
cartoony.
locked down now.
Yeah. Like your thing has to start cartoony. It has to start Genshin Impact looking. Like Genshin Impact can bring everything, and you can have your Uwu alloy and all your different things. Like it makes sense in the way that looks, which is why I think out of all of the Horizon things that are coming out, the Horizon MMO that is incredibly anime looking probably has the best chance of being successful long term of the Sony Live Service stuff, because it is built to immediately be able to have 7 billion IP collaborations, because it's not going for a realistic look.
Man, that makes me sad because I really want SOCOM with cat ears. That's what I care about.
Who wouldn't?
That's what I'm saying.
Cats.
Sir, yes, sir, with cat ears. That's all I care about.
You mentioned Fatal Fury City of Wolves. I think Nick, you've been playing that one as well, right?
Well, yes. In the last week that I haven't had a chance to really do anything at all, I tried to squeeze in some time with Fatal Fury City of Wolves. I was looking forward to actually reviewing it. And then just was physically incapable of doing so because
Your foot hurt too bad.
Yeah,
but
we all know he plays fighting games with his feet.
Games.
I've played a little bit of, so I put some time into the arcade mode, did the tutorials because I'm more of a Street Fighter guy than I am Fatal Fury over the years, and started the Southtown World Tour mode that they've got going. I played it at Gamescom last year though, and I loved it. It's Fatal Fury is so good.
Yeah,
it's so good. I've been skipping all the cutscenes, of course, in the South.
They're not even really. They're not real cutscenes. They're just bad text. I would skip them too. It's
yeah.
It's real. It's not. It's not like MK1 where you could tell. Oh, there was just a ton of work and motion capture, and they brought in tons of people to do voices. Like this is very much. We got a couple of people in a room for a week, and they just wrote up some weird shit for our lore, and then we just put some mostly just people's avatars in text. And once in a while, you'll get a picture of somebody's like character model standing there with like the tiniest bit of animation on it, and that's it.
Yeah. It's a really good fighting game though. I'm really enjoying it. I've switched Terry to his old look. I just prefer Terry's hat and the old vest jacket thing look compared to the new. I'm not a big fan of that new look for Terry Bogard. I'm not unhappy with Mai's new look. It's very different.
They worked
unhappy about it
for all the work they didn't do on cutscenes. They did do on jiggle physics.
Oh yeah, they've gone to a Dead or Alive level.
All they do.
Yeah, they've gone to a Dead or Alive level on the jiggle physics, which again, not complaining. It's just something that did stand out. But it's actually a fantastic fighting game. It's really good. I need more time with it to get better with the systems and.
Yeah, that's how Ursel feels with his review in progress. He's really liking it, but he feels very bad at it, so he needs to get good. And then he'll do a final score.
It's quite deep, but it is easy to pick up and play. Like I mean, Kahlief would know with most of these fighters these days, most of your skills are transferable.
Yeah.
So if you know how to do Hadouken in Street Fighter, you can do the majority of moves in most fighters these days. But yes, it's very enjoyable. Actually, you know what? I would like to ask him while we have him, since you're into fighters. Did you enjoy Killer Instinct?
I was never really I was into Killer Instinct when arcades were a thing, when that was an actual thing. But the latest versions of it, I never really got into it. I wanted to, and every time I see it at Evo, when they do like the little side pot stuff, I always watch it because it's such a fun fighter. My favorite fighter, if you can't tell, is Mortal Kombat. But it's like, that style of fighting is so interesting. A fighter.
You should give Killer Instinct a go.
Yeah. I gotta circle back
Killer
on
Instinct
that.
a go.
It's a lot better than Chaos Reigns.
It is. Killer Instinct is probably. I mean, Maximilian gushes about it as well.
Mhm.
It is one of the deepest, but not. I say deep, but not in a bad, unwelcoming way.
Mm.
There's so much going on that you need to be thinking about in terms of counters, then double counters, and then shadow counters, but
Mhm.
watching high level Killer Instinct play is unbelievable. I don't think there's anything that comes close. And I've grown up on Street Fighter since I was very, very young,
Yeah.
and I can't watch like Street Fighter competitively. To me, is nowhere near watching Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct is just, it's unbelievable. I put
Are
so
you
many
excited
hours
for
into that game.
2XKO?
Yes, I am looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
So Riot. So I haven't been keeping tabs on it lately, but is it still Riot's attempt at streamlining fighting systems and the fighting genre? It's one of those easy to pick up and play, but deep and difficult to master. Is that still their goal?
It seems like it. It seems like they're still going. We're building a tag fighter that is going to be pretty much like a 3-button system. Pick up and play, but definitely has a ton of depth to it.
Yeah.
I think they just had their latest beta, or at least test, last weekend. And I was not home to be able to play it, but I'm super excited for that thing. That thing is
Looks stunning.
dope.
Love the art style on it.
The Riot teams the teams at Riot who are working on that thing, they are so good. Like, and the Cannon brothers who are helming that thing. Like, I think it's gonna. I have a feeling that will be at Evo, if not next year, the year afterward for sure.
I'm looking forward to it. From when they first revealed it, I was like, "This looks really interesting." And I'm at the moment, I'm assuming it's PC only. At the moment,
No, it'll be on console.
It will be. Oh, good.
Yeah. They'll have crossplay, I think, too.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Don't you love?
It wasn't
this
part. It was
modern
built to be
gaming
playable on
environment?
a keyboard, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Now I'm just looking here. You also mentioned, and I feel like these two need to be talked about at length today.
Can
Up
I
to you
do
guys, which one you
one
want?
shitty one before we
Yeah,
start?
like, you want to talk about Le Chimera?
Yeah, there's a game I reviewed in 2 hours. I was not expecting it to be that fast. I was expecting it to be my entire day yesterday because they didn't get code out until yesterday for me. It's called La Chimera. It's only on PC on Steam. I say that it's not actually available yet. They delayed it after the reviews came out, and no one liked it. I gave it a 4. I think was it Game Ran or some WCCF Tech gave it a 4. It's $30 for 3 missions that you could probably beat each of them in about half an hour.
Nice.
There's a tutorial that starts up. You get a long, boring cutscene. It feels like, I might be wrong, but it definitely feels like most of the Metro actors who did the English dub from, obviously, it's Reburn, who used to be for a Ukraine and worked on the Metro series. Feels like a lot of those voice actors are now doing really bad to offensive Latin American accents for these characters.
Dear God.
It's a terrible story. It's kind of a cool setting. Like, it's 2060s. There's drones and shit everywhere. There was this huge robot war where they lost control of them, and so there's this whole zone you're not supposed to go into. In fact,
It looks kind of nice.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
only Unreal Engine 4, but it's really nice looking. Great character models on the main ally you have, and some of them, they look really good. Really basic overall gameplay, where in the first mission, you're rescuing the most annoying human being of all time as a regular guy. Also, it seems to lag. Like, I don't know if you just noticed that guy kind of... Like, it feels like you're online sometimes, even though I know I wasn't. It wasn't pulling from the internet, but it had what felt like internet lag, which is really weird. I've never seen it before where our embargo was supposed to be when it goes live, and then it's like they saw the reviews or something, and then posted on their Discord, "Oh, sorry, it's delayed. We don't know how long for. You still can't buy it." And
bizarre,
I would
isn't
definitely
it?
recommend not, because for $30 you're going to get 2 hours of not fun. And I feel bad because there are really good things about it as far as the graphics. It runs really well. It's kind of fun at times with the basic gameplay. You do get and they really showcase it in their marketing. You get an exosuit. You never have the full exosuit like they show in the marketing, but you have an exosuit. It seems like the whole game is built around replaying the 3 missions over and over again. And when you go to like the level select or continue, it shows each checkpoint as its own level. And you can grind money and buy more stuff to just keep playing those same 3 levels. Whatever. It's not good. I didn't even bother doing a video review because it really wasn't fun. I would avoid La Chimera.
Wow. Well, it looks like people are involuntarily avoiding
Yeah,
it.
you can't help but avoid it right now.
Not released it, even though they were going to that day. That is so weird. I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, like no, they
it
didn't
was
like
meant
it.
to release, and
Yeah.
it
was
didn't.
meant to release right after our reviews went live. So I had the code about 1 full day before embargo. And they said, it'll take you about 5 hours. And I beat it in just around 2. But that's because I had bumped the difficulty up and actually died a few times. If you play on normally, you probably can beat it in like 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Does it have easy?
Yes, you don't want to spend $30 on it though, Nick. It's bad. It's only PC, by the
There's
way.
no console version, Nick. It's just Steam right now.
Oh, really?
It's just nothing
Yeah.
right now.
Ouch.
Mac?
Yeah, technically it's nothing. It's not releasing anywhere because they've
Wow.
delayed it. That is odd.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Wow. Okay, well, let's talk about some positive things. And you guys can pick because, and I get the sneaking suspicion, Nick and I are just going to be like, cool.
Yeah, you can go take a break.
So, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, and The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered both released this week, and both have done extremely well.
Both reviewed by me, even though I didn't play enough Oblivion. I don't know what the hell's going on in that game.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like
It's a bit
7 other
ridiculous
reviews
that
popped
you
up
would
right around
review
mine.
a game without actually playing it.
Yeah, awful.
Disappointing.
But Clair Obscur, and for the record, I have dived into both. I've played through the prologue of Clair Obscur, and I finished it, and I was like, "This is not for me."
The prologue
isn't
the game.
It's not. It was gorgeous, and the cutscenes were fantastic, and the way it looks and feels to play, great. But I was like, "It's not for me."
The
It's just never
prologue
gonna be my
is
kind of game.
entirely set up. You're not playing the game until you're actually in Act 1. You're not into the loop of the game until you're 5 or 10 hours in.
I just know.
Yeah.
It's not
Could
gonna
it be
for me.
that rare turn-based RPG that I enjoy?
No, because it's entirely about the story.
Yeah, but so are all JRPGs.
Yeah, but JRPGs generally have bad stories, or they have stories that don't translate very well. So even when they are good, their sensibilities and other stuff might not be. Like, this is actually a very good Western story that pulls a lot of anime
What about
tropes.
the gameplay, though?
It never...
Like, there have been
fine.
RPGs I have enjoyed, like Blue Dragon and Skies of Arcadia and Grandia 2. And like, there have been JRPGs that I enjoyed.
With its focus on the active defense, it doesn't have a ton of variety because it would be infuriating if it does, because you have to learn every enemy's attack pattern all the time. So I would say if you're not playing not experiencing the story, and you're just going from fight to fight, that would probably get boring after a while, because it is the same fights against the same guys over and over again, because otherwise you'd have to remember like 700 attack patterns, which would really suck.
Yep.
But Nick, at the same time, a lot of people are praising it for, taking the turn-based RPG genre and kind of really giving it a lot of fresh ideas, and it is the highest rated game of the year right now, right? I mean, congratulations to the developers, and it is beautiful. Like, I was running it in ultra wide, I was like, good lord, it is like watching a painting kind of move around. I know it's like,
if I could, man, I didn't record any of it. Kyle would know if, now that he's beaten it. Nothing from, and I was attacked for not having any footage from after Act 1, and I'm like, you dumb bitch, shit bag motherfuckers. Everything you do after Act 1 it would be really hard for it to not be a major spoiler. Like, it's just
1,000%.
It's a game that constantly moves and changes and has huge holy shit moments, and I didn't want to ruin any of that with the footage. Now, I stuck some. If you went and go look at the unbelievably gorgeous review that Pre-Drag put together for my words and pictures, some of those pictures are from like the last fight of the game, but there's no context, so you wouldn't know that. So like right off the bat, you're dumbasses. But I digress. They didn't get me mad at all. Like
I'm
this
installing Marathon.
Go for it. But put it up on stream right now. This review page by Pre-Drags might be his prettiest one, which is saying something after his South of Midnight one. But unlike John, I always give him like a lot of time, and I gave him 10 days to do this one, and boy did he knock it out of the park. God,
unreal.
So Clair Obscur Expedition 33, we know the basic premise. I would say it took that premise of being in this world where every year the paintress counts down on her monolith. Started at 100. She's all the way down to 34. It's about to tick over to 33. Everyone of that age or older disappears in what is called a gommage. They just turn into flowers and dust, and away they go. That premise is leapfrogged by where the story actually goes repeatedly. So like they took a premise that I thought was amazing. It was like, this is so cool. I hope that the story lives up to it. And I would say it's pretty clear that the story just kept going. It never slowed down. Things get recontextualized, and they're constantly making you think about what you have seen and what you're going to see and what is what. And as you get revelations and stuff, it is stunning repeatedly. And I was talking to John, like, as a story, it's not just my favorite, like, for a game in a long time. I think it's up there for any medium of entertainment, whether it's books, movies, or TVs. And there's been very few games, like The Last of Us 1, the overall story of Mass Effect and some other things have gotten up there, and this is right at the top for me. What do you think? How is it for you, Ka?
I mean, this is a masterpiece. Like, I don't use that word lightly. Like, Sandfall Interactive, this is the strongest. I said this in my review. This is the strongest debut from a studio I've seen in probably my 12 years of doing this. Like, it is. They've nailed everything, like from art style to music, which I can't get out of my head. It is stuck in there. It is not going away.
8-hour OST.
Yeah, I bought it immediately.
Really?
It was 154 tracks, 8 hours long. A lot of them are, or like 30 or 40 of them are the song and then the song with lyrics, like the stuff I'm playing now. Funny story about the soundtrack that I found online. Turns out the guy, this is his first ever soundtrack, much like it's their debut for being a game. He was a guitar teacher who was posting his own, he was like composing video game soundtrack music and posting it to his SoundCloud. He eventually put a link to that on a French video game forum, and the game director saw that and got in touch with him, and then they ended up doing the whole soundtrack.
That's insane.
Yeah, I love stories like that. I love stories like that. So good.
So good. I mean, I played it for 30 hours and it's still going. Like, I can still play probably another 15, 20 hours of that.
Yeah, because and I did pretty much everything I could. I cleared the endless thing. Got through all that. Like, by the way, if you ever just want a power level and be able to go through everything nonstop, the moment you can get in there, you will level nonstop. I've gone through, did everything I could. It was about 37, 38 hours total for me, but I do believe I end up being pretty fast at things because I play them so much. I take their word. If you mainline, 30-ish. If you want to do everything, 60-ish. Because there's a surprising amount to do as well for being a 30-person team that made all this.
That's insane as well.
Yeah.
It makes a little bit of a mockery of the AAA industry somewhat.
To a point, this genre allows it in a way. Like if this was a third-person or a first-person game, trying to nail the gameplay at the scope that they did with the turn-based side, I think would be a lot harder. And I do think they were helped quite a bit with Kepler, being able to get them like as good a voice cast as a game has had. Can't say why. Ben Starr, like always, amazing. Charlie Cox in his first ever voice acting role, absolutely amazing. Just friggin' nailed it. And Andy Serkis, as you can imagine, just freaking nailed it. But you can't talk about pretty much any of it without it being a spoiler.
With a big
Yes.
None of it.
Yeah, it's too soon. But it's a valid point. You know, if you think about the industry right now, and you know, we've seen over the last 18 months, 2 years, job losses and studio closures and people pulling back, and you know, these massive teams ballooning in size and scope and scale, and yet the two highest rated games of the year, I mean, Blueprints has gone down a bit, but Blueprints, one guy, fair enough, took him 8 years, but
You look at like
Brilliant.
Helldivers 2, that took him 7-8 years. Like
Right.
most of these things take a really long time.
But here's this team, 30 devs, and I bet the budget wasn't absolutely insane. And what they have done, and you know, even as I'm just watching the video, what they have done is taken those core concepts of what they wanted their gameplay to be like and polished them to a absolute mirror shine. They haven't tried to throw everything at the game. They're not trying to be the everything game. They're like, we're going to be this really good, really focused turn-based RPG. And we're going to build this world, and we're going to do it right. And they've not over-egged the pudding, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
To bring some cooking analogies into it for lols.
Pudding.
And you know, that's gotta make massive studios of like 500 team members go, you know, what are we doing here? It's just, are we barking up the wrong tree? And I think that's a conversation the industry over there needs to go and have with themselves, because like I've said for a long time now, games looked good enough back in 2013. What I want are new ideas and new things. Now, while this game admittedly is probably just not going to be for me, like people are calling me out, John, you haven't played past the tutorial, you've got to at least give the actual gameplay a go. Okay, I will continue, but I know in my heart I'm just like, yeah, it's just I ain't got the patience for this
The
stuff all
prologue
time.
was almost zero gameplay. Like you haven't seen the actual what is the game at all.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But
That's
I can also
Blueprints for me, though. Blueprints for me is just not hitting at all.
I was 5 hours
it's
into
the most
Blueprints,
amazing
and
thing I've ever played.
I was 5 hours into Blueprints and really bored. And then John took
Yeah.
over and gave it a 10. I was like, if it had been me, I might have given it like a 6, and people would have just lost their shit on me. It was like I
Yeah,
was getting the overall structure and those things. I was like, oh, it's just so my brain
I
hurts.
absolutely love Blueprints. Like, it's one of the best things I've ever played.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, again, we approaching it from perhaps different tastes, and that's fine as well, right? Like,
John,
different strokes
are
for
you
different
into
folks.
anime?
No.
Ka, are you into anime at all?
No.
No. So you don't even have to be. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's JRPG and anime. It's like, yeah, but it's so Western that
Yes.
it's using their tropes and some of their structures on stuff, especially with just how fantastical it all is. Like, it's not afraid to be just over the top and weird looking until you understand the how and why everything is the way it is. Once it's an incredible story that, especially if you just put it on story mode, put it on easy, the blocking and the parrying, your old man, skills won't get in the way. You'll be fine. Also,
Fair.
if you don't like it, just don't
Fair
play
comment.
it. It's fine.
No, like that's the thing. But I do like. I called it out on headlines. The tweet I saw. It's the first ever JRPG.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Whoever
that's
that
really
person
good,
was,
actually.
it's witty.
Really good.
I like it.
Very good.
But yeah, a lot of people were concerned though. Very concerned. A
Mhm.
lot of concern out there in the
Dastardly-
streets, in the
dastardly
Twitter
Bethesda.
ghettos, of the evil Bethesda, the evil mega corporation would totally ruin Clair Obscur's launch by launching the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. And it hasn't. Both have been very successful. So I guess that's that story over and done with. But Oblivion, I also loaded up and ran through. Again, that's a game I played and bought at launch. I didn't play it for very long, bounced right off it. Me and Bethesda RPGs, we rarely get along. But
You see what I have to deal with what him and Nick are actually into.
What a glow up, though. Like, it cannot be denied. And like, I get there are performance issues for certain folks on certain rigs. Granted, I've got a 4090 here, and it just bulldozes.
Well, enough.
brute
It's a
force
lot
its way
worse on
through.
5000 series because they've been having so many weird drivers issues lately, from what I've seen.
Nvidia are all over the shop. But
Right.
man, I mean, what a way to do a remaster, right?
Mhm.
To the point where people are arguing with you, even though the game is called The Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. That's a remake. It really ain't.
It has a part that was remade, and so people are like, "Oh, everything's remade." It's like, no, the
Visually,
graphical
it's a
remake.
remake.
Yeah, it's a graphical remake, much like the Halo CE and 2 were graphical remakes, even though they're remasters because it's still running on Gamebryo. Like it's all that same logic. It's tweaked here and there. It still feels like the 2006 game, but they improved the main things that make it feel a little more modern with the locomotion and letting you run, and giving you a little bit of feedback on hits. Like they did a ton of work. I think for $50 or just downloading it as part of a Game Pass, it earned its not having a cheap upgrade, because also there's no way they could know if anyone bought it on PS3. And people who bought it on PC would have bought it freaking 20 years ago. So it was always going to be a full price thing. Just like if they do Fallout 3, it'll most likely be $50 and same type of stuff.
Are you actually feeling feedback when you hit things? Because I'm playing it on PlayStation 5 right now on a Pro, and it's not. I don't feel like when I hit things.
Yeah, it's more there's actually a visual indicator now. Because before you used to just go through them and they didn't do anything.
Yeah, there was no animation,
and there was no sound. Because they ran out of space for sound, which is why everyone had the same voice. And they went back and they re-recorded the Argonians, the Leslie Argonians, and all them to have their own actual voice lines, which is really nice. And I think there's been so much extra done on top compared to most remasters, where it's just like we went from medium high to high ultra settings that most remasters end up getting, or we added a little mode type of thing. Like they went above and beyond where people are used to remasters going.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's good stuff though, man. Like what a time to be alive. Like this is the kind of level of remaster that I really, really appreciate, because they have kept the and what a way to acknowledge the audience. Do you know what I mean? Like the amount of memes that have spawned out of games like Skyrim and Oblivion. And rather than risk throwing all that away, they've left everything in, even the flubbed voice lines where she's like, "Oh, wait, let me do that again." And it's in the game. Brilliant. Like, I mean, it just looks
the third person.
well.
Like I played the 360 version on Monday on stream just to show it off, and like the third person camera is unusable. Like it just, you swing around like a maniac. You can't tell what's going on. And they put in essentially the Starfield version of that, and so now it's completely playable in it. Like it's one of those things. This feels like what I remember, and then you go back and play, and like, oh shit, no, it was a lot rougher. That's a really good job.
Yeah,
That's
Virtuos. Virtuos knocking it out of the park.
Makes me feel good about Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Ooh, I want that so bad. Give
August
me
28th.
Please. Birthday gift.
We got a super chat from Lucius. Augustus.
This JRPG is making what? What's the BS?
Weebs?
Weebs, mate. Weebs.
Quite
It's the
happy.
weebs.
Yeah,
The
you know
weebs.
what threw me?
The
The apostrophe threw me. It threw me.
Oh man, I love it.
You know what? I wanted to get to it, and then John was too eager to go forward, and that's despite the lecture that he fucking gave me before the show started, right? So I did want to try and get a word in, but John wouldn't allow it. Back when we were
Sounds about right.
discussing Kaleif and his background and his history.
We had a question for Kahlief from good old
There was a
Collingwood.
community question for Kaleif,
Yep.
which I thought, oh, cool,
Hey.
now's the time to sneak it in. And then John's just off
Oh,
with the
I'm sorry,
fairies.
mate. I'm sorry, mate. You've got a voice, yeah? You got a voice?
Do I?
I don't know,
They're like
mate.
an old couple.
I love it. It's so good.
Makeup sex is
There's a
amazing.
community
Though.
question here, Jesse, when you're ready.
I'm already on it.
There's a community question from good old Collingwood. Hello, John, Nick, and Jesse, and welcome, Kaleif. Kaleif, you are well known for your culinary feud with Parris. How did that start, and who is winning?
Ooh, great question, Collingwood. Thank you so much for bringing that to the show. So this started, God, like 6 years ago now. I think it's been running.
Really?
Yeah, it's been going for a long time actually. He was, I think it was either New Year's or Christmas, and he was talking about this 7-Up cake that he makes. So it's like a pound
7
cake.
Up
Yeah, pound cake with 7-Up as a mix for the batter.
in the mixture.
In the mixture. And we are constantly talking crap to each other. Just like I will text him. He was like, "Good morning." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." So we're just constantly talking crap forever. And he said, you know, my cake is so great, it's so awesome, da da da. And I just got on Twitter. I was like, I know you can't cook. This is like your wife made this, somebody else made this. This couldn't be you because you're a talentless hack. You can't make food.
Yeah.
And it sparked from that small thing, and it's just like going back and forth, like old men, just like on each other's porches across the way of talking crap. And it's just blown up into weird things now. It's been so he did that thing. He sent a video back to me. I made a rap beat out of that. Then he came back with the thing, and then I made a video. Are you familiar with what's the service? Cameo, the Cameo service. You can get celebrities to come in and do stuff. So I spent some money and got some celebrities to come in and do a video against him. That was like "Who Are the People in Your Neighborhood" song.
Oh wow!
We did that for the anniversary. So it was like Kurt Angle, Redman, Cedric the Entertainer. Who else was in that video? Montel Jordan saying this is how we don't cook.
This is how we do it.
Yeah, and he did a version of that. That was talking crap about Parris, and it was great. So we had to do that because the kind of big moment was him going on the Xbox showcase and hosting it that year, and then pulling up a controller that said Kahlief can't cook, Ka can't cook on it, which I was ruined at that point. My reputation was gone. It was brutal. My family left me. I don't know what, like everybody was like, I don't like this kid. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Parris has a lot to answer for.
Oh,
he cancelled our show at that time too. That was when he first cancelled on us.
Wow.
The Xbox showcase.
What a dirtbag. Everybody in the chat called that man a dirtbag. But it was that moment where it sparked like me being like, all right, we have to figure out a way to make this happen in a bigger way. And we've been going back and forth doing that thing for a very long time, to the point where I think the folks at Weber sent me a grill, like a smoker. It's we did it in Spawnies 2. Spawnies 2, I had a friend of the show, Xavier Woods, did a whole piece about how he couldn't cook. I got into. I'm the only person in the world who got a piece of art in Dead Space remake. It says cock. It says cock and cook on one of the walls.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I think I found that. I actually think I found that in the game.
Yeah. That's me. Hi. And it's just continued to grow and be stupid and unreasonable, and it's fantastic. It is one of the best things on the planet. It has been such an amazing time of just talking crap. And the weird part about it, or the funny part, there it goes, is we've never had each other's actual food yet. We've not actually tasted each other's food, each other's cooking.
For fuck's sake.
And it's been going for 6 years. Like I've heard people in Xbox brass, like Phil Spencer has talked about it. Like he's talked about it on numerous occasions and stuff like that. So it's like the internet is fun when you want it to be fun, man. Like I don't know why it's caught fire, and I don't know why it continues to still go. And now it's hit the curve where everyone's like, shut the hell up and cook something already.
Yeah.
Like actually do something with all this nonsense.
Have an actual cook-off now.
What you need is
cook-off.
Like celebrity chef, whatever it's called, where you've got the famous chefs, and you and Parris have both got to cook a dish. Like Gordon Ramsay, and go, this is raw.
This is
and just
rubbish.
This is shit. This is
rubbish.
shit.
Video game Iron Chef.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, I've had so many different ideas for like, I had a game show idea in my mind for this thing that I've been trying to do, and he won't do it because of the name of the show, which is reasonable. So the idea is, and someone please don't steal this because it's really good. It's basically, so we'd go on Twitch, we do it in YouTube format. Every week we'll have the audience pick a ingredient, like, what is the name of the show that does that? So they pick an ingredient for us to cook with. And every week we have a couple of celebrity guests or celebrity judges kind of go through the process and tell us if we did well or not. And then the third party is the chat. So the third party is the folks. They get to make the final decision on like, ooh, that looks really good. That tastes really good. Da, 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 da. And we do that for a couple of rounds and stuff. So the idea and the name of the show is called Beat My Meat.
I can see why you're triple getting it off the ground.
Yeah, it's hard to pull in sponsors with that. But it would be fantastic. It would be amazing. It would be an amazing name for a cooking show, and I can't get it off the ground. And no one is bold enough to take this challenge to make this marketable.
Oh man,
I like that name.
It would be great. It would be fantastic.
Make it happen, please.
It's better than wanking with Kaleif.
OnlyFans coming soon. But it's like, it's one of those fun things of like getting a chance to do something with a friend of yours that you love and appreciate, and then it just randomly caught all these layers of attention and stuff, and it was fun. I am most proud of the Dead Space thing though. Like I was working with them and got a DM from one of the developers one day, and he showed it to me, and I was like, that can't be real. He was like, oh no, that's real. I was like, are you serious? In the game? And I'm a huge Dead Space fan. Like I am a big Dead Space fan.
Best Resident Evil game.
Oh, 1,000%. I'm so in love with that game, and he did such a fantastic job on it. And now I'm like the only person on the planet with that thing in a game, and it has like the dumbest reference of all time, but it's fantastic. I love it. So good.
There's also a bonus question at the end of this.
Yeah.
Which we when we remember, we try to ask all our guests.
Yeah.
And good old Collingwood says also, are you a fervent follower of the fantastic sitcom known as Friends?
Oh my God, Friends?
Yes.
I mean, I remember I've watched a couple. I've watched a couple here and there.
That's enough.
I've watched a couple.
He's not losing any street cred over this.
He's not a fan of Friends.
He's not a Friends fan.
I mean, I was watching it for Rachel though. Like Rachel was a baddie
Jennifer
when I was
Aniston.
watching it.
Fuck.
Jennifer Aniston had the cut of all cuts. She was looking super hot.
Yeah. Fair.
It was bad.
Fair. Well, at least there's some appreciation there.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
Chandler was a loser in the show. I didn't, rest in peace. But I wasn't vibing with him, and I was
best character. Did he be any funnier?
I like Chandler.
Yeah, he was the but like Joey was the dude though. Joey was the dude.
Yeah, Joey.
Joey was the one pulling it all together. Like he was the one, like the
glue.
The glue that held everything
for
together.
a split second when you said Joe, I thought Joe Rogan. I was like, wait, what?
I think he guest starred on Friends once. I'm used to Joe Rogan fear.
He probably would have been with the whole John Favreau wanting to be
the UFC thing.
Yeah,
UFC part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe he did. I can't actually remember.
No, what?
I feel like he did. I feel like he did at one point, but who knows?
In the interest of sponsorship deals,
yeah,
Kaleif doesn't even need to cook anymore. All he needs, John, he just needs control, mate. The greatest meal replacement ever. You don't have to cook. If you can't be stuffed cooking, you just get control out. That's it. And it's the greatest. Jesse,
this will be the control music.
How nice it is.
Steal it from Console Warriors.
Console music. I don't like it.
Nope.
Just go to www.drinkcontrol.com/XboxEra. Use our code for 10% off, mate. You'll never cook again.
Never have to.
You just have bags of control there waiting. And the kids love it as a milkshake too.
Now, seeing as we spoke a little bit about Expedition 33 and Elder Scrolls, there's a couple of community questions on those particular topics. Did you want to tackle those?
In the interest of doing the community questions just whenever, yeah. Okay. Sure. First one is from Agent of Chaos 907. Good day, John, Jesse, Dick, and Kaleif. I've been absolutely loving my time with Clair Obscur, and I am amazed by how great this OST is. This could rival Hollow Knight OST for me. Looking back at some of my favourite games, the one aspect of each game that remains the most memorable tends to always be the music. Music can elevate a game so much. I look at South of Midnight as an example. what would be your favorite OSTs from a game? Streets of Rage 2. Oh, Streets of Rage 2. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Man, there was I think it was like Castlevania 3 had a banger. That one was really, really good. I do think South of Midnight is really fantastic. I think Clair Obscur is really, really good. Def Jam Fight for New York was really good. Man, there were a ton that were. Damn it. I'll see if I can remember it, but it was actually one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a very long time, and it was done by Xavier Nelson on his game. He did like a vampire game that was like Max Payne. What is the? I'll find it. I'll find it.
Is it cheating to say like Guitar Hero 2? Because is that really a soundtrack? It's
I was
right?
just about to say, I was just about to create an offshoot and say, what about licensed soundtrack?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's
'Cause
original
you can throw Tony
soundtracks.
Hawk's in there.
Yes. Hello, Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if there's ever been a licensed soundtrack that has infused with the game as much. Like, you can't hear Offspring without thinking Crazy Taxi, and then you can't think Crazy Taxi without going, yeah, in your head.
1,000%. 1,000%. El Paso Elsewhere is the name of the game.
Oh, yeah.
That soundtrack was ridiculously good.
You know what soundtrack is just intrinsically tied to it? It's a smaller game. They really took off with Hades, but Transistor, which sadly never went to Xbox, but like that soundtrack, I've gone through, especially like Paper Boats and a couple other songs on it, like a ridiculous amount of times. And it is a mostly voiced one for all like the best stuff. But pretty much every time this just pops up in my random, because I bought the soundtrack, it reminds me of going through that game on PC, and just, it's a good game that is so tied to this music that I can't think of it without it in my head.
Sonic 2.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sega in the 16-bit days, man, like you just could not touch them. Use a Koshiro and just
masters of making stuff out of nothing. I was like, how do you make that? This is crazy. Crazy.
And the Mega Drive sound chip could basically do fuck all, and they were still pulling off that sort of stuff.
Some absolute jams. I want to say Halo soundtracks, but then I really dislike. I've got to separate the art from the artist, right?
You're not going to vote. You're not going to move to Arizona and vote for him.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But equally, like for me, in like recent times, the one, the Helldivers 2 theme, like I've actually put that on, and just to hear it on a like absolutely ridiculous sound.
You love
system in the
fascism,
lounge.
so it makes sense.
Like just that bum, like it's just so good. But yeah, it won awards. It's understandable.
Yeah. One that's not super catchy, like there's not a theme to it, but the first Division, like the music they had in that, it was really goddamn good. It feels like the Division every time I hear it, but it didn't have like a catchy theme to it.
Killer Instinct.
Sure.
Yeah. Killer Instincts. Mick Gordon's Killer Instinct soundtrack is next level. And his Doom soundtrack is also next level.
I have that, and I won't play it though, because they immediately ping you every friggin' time for it. Did any of you ever play PPP?
No.
Only when I drink a lot of water.
Like the soundtrack in this one is like 7 or 8 these chiptune styles, but they're just like they're all bangers. Like once this starts going.
Now, I want to shout out Vampire Survivors. And what's it called? Oh my god, it was just in my brain. Like really, really good soundtrack. Oh, Ori. Gareth Coker, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yes.
The moment this track drops, and it's like there's so many on. It's just like little 3-4 hour puzzle game with the most basic Atari or Commodore 64 graphics. But then it just has like all these songs that just take off like this. Like they're all so good.
So good.
Dimebag in the chat says, "Hey,
Yeah,
I really love the
Rumor Mill
Rumor Mill
soundtrack.
soundtrack."
That's the best video game soundtrack.
The
Mate.
Rumor Mill soundtrack.
I think
The
I
Rumor
have
Mill
it?
song is so
Don't
good.
play it.
I don't.
Don't play it.
I don't think I have it.
Oh, Cult of the Lamb had a
Mm.
banger soundtrack.
And R.I.P. to the person who made it, unfortunately.
Yeah, Riverboy
Oh,
passed
God.
away very recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Sad times.
Shit.
But that game is
Mhm.
amazing. I gave that game a 9.6, and I stand by it.
Yeah, that soundtrack is
It's
stupid
one of the
good.
best I played in a long time. Do I not? I
That was
don't
a
have the
good
Rumor Mill
tangent.
music, do I?
Should I go to the Elder Scrolls question?
Yeah, why not? From Hugh.
Okay. From Hugh. Hey guys. With the recent fantastic Oblivion remaster, do you think we'll see Bethesda / Virtuos work on Arena, Battlespire, Redguard, Daggerfall, Morrowind, and perhaps even Skyrim again?
No.
I think it would be pretty awesome if they did one massive Elder Scrolls launcher where you can launch all the games, including ESO and ES6, from a map of Tamriel?
Yeah, Tamriel.
Tamriel.
Okay. Alternatively, would you like to see Virtuos work on a different Xbox / Bethesda franchise? Maybe
It's Fallout 3.
Is Hugh.
They were, everyone who knew it was Oblivion is now saying it's Fallout 3, but it's not close. It's like years away because they're busy.
Mm.
They just finished this. They've got Metal Gear Solid Delta, whatever else they're doing. But yeah,
That's cool, though.
even if you touched up Morrowind, I don't think it would be playable for most people. Because that game is built around if you swing, you'll miss sometimes, depending on your stats, even though it's a first-person swing, and it goes right through the target, but then it says miss, and you go insane. They'd have to completely rebalance the whole thing, like because they all have to still work on the old tech, because they're all simulated. You don't get those games in Unreal. You only get them in Bethesda's engines. That's why they still make their own engines. So I don't think they would. Fallout 3 is one that needs it the most. Fallout 4 is perfectly fine and playable and just came out for current gen consoles again, breaking all the mods, pissing people off. But Fallout 3 is the one that doesn't hold up gameplay wise, but has an amazing story, much like Oblivion. So I think that's the one to go for. And then New Vegas.
Yeah, New Vegas as well.
New Vegas, I can see some.
Yeah,
some
Fallout 3
movement
was
on.
in the
Sure.
leaks. Yeah.
Maybe they should rescue the KOTOR remake and give it to Virtuos.
Supposedly, Saber says they're still on it.
Oh, Saber's on it now.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah.
not Aspire.
Nope. Saber.
Interesting.
It got wrestled
Saber.
from their hands, it seems.
Because Saber didn't
Yeah,
have
it might turn
17
out
other
good.
projects to do, like Roadcraft, which I'm getting in a week or two or something, supposedly, because that
'Cause-
game's coming out in May.
Saber did Halo Anniversary
Mm.
and Halo 2 Anniversary.
Mm.
So they were also actually no, not going to say that. 'Cause then I'm going to get in trouble. Not going to say that. Yeah, Saber know how to do remakes.
Yeah.
They know
You're
how
on
to
point.
do remakes.
A KOTOR remake is making an unbelievably expensive game if you're actually remaking it and not remastering, because remaster wouldn't, I don't think most people would find fun. And also, much like you see with Oblivion, like the trappings are all still the amount of characters and the size of levels that the 360 could handle. And for KOTOR, that was the Xbox One. Like you are going back to something that immediately looks and feels old if you're only putting some pretty graphics on top of it. Like you can still tell the scope. Like Oblivion had way bigger levels, so it kind of gets hidden when you're able to just put a bunch of shit in the distance that you can never actually go and see. Like they put the tall mountain from Skyrim in there and cool stuff like that for people to make it feel bigger. But when you're doing a fight and it's like it's a huge battle and there's 4 of you and 3 enemies, like you can tell it was still old, and KOTOR has that in spades. So to completely remake KOTOR is essentially making a brand new, like at that scope, if you're doing anything for what KOTOR was actually trying to be, that's an incredibly expensive and large endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and game devs sounding like a blast. Good luck, game developers. More, faster, yeah, and cheaper.
Never
Thanks.
ending.
Better graphics, better physics. Come on.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Yeah, chop chop.
Users.
Man, yeah, that is a thing. I mean, I briefly, I've been playing a couple of things additionally, and because of the health issues, unfortunately, I haven't been able to wrap it up yet. But I'm close to the end of Once Upon a Puppet, which is a okay. Like, this is my brief review. It's an okay 2.5D character platformer, mostly held up by a nice art style and some cool ideas where you play two characters at the same time. One is a floating hand with strings, and the other is a puppet. And it's all set in the world of like a stage and a kingdom that's all kind of based on plays.
It's like Mario.
It's okay. Like, it's not the best 2.5D game ever. It's not the worst. It's just okay. But I'll get it wrapped up. Still addicted to blueprints, obviously.
You'd have this game done if you weren't so addicted to blueprints.
I've stayed off of blueprints. I've played it once to try and get a thing. I'm trying to avoid spoilers. Where I have to wait a very long time for the time to be the right time. That's how ridiculous that game is. But the other one that I actually tried out as a recommendation from someone in the chat in headlines is Bionic Bay, which I picked up on Steam.
That looks good,
mate. It's right up your alley. No cutscenes, pure
Looks good.
gameplay, crisp gameplay,
and it's only about 4 hours long if you're any good at it.
Yeah, and it's one where you feel like if you pull the sequence of events off, you feel quite cool in doing it. But yeah, it's a neat little game. Would recommend. Hope it comes to Xbox
awesome.
at some point.
Yeah, it's Kepler. They do timed normally, if anything. I think it's Kepler.
Yeah, but it's fun. I like it a lot. And it supports ultra wide, which is always nice.
Yeah.
That's about it in terms of what we've been playing. I presume no one else has got anything extra that they want to chuck in that enormous pile of ridiculous games.
I could keep talking about Clair Obscur, but then I'd have to get into spoilers. I would be mad.
Yeah. You need a spoiler cast. You need to do a little spoiler cast with the story.
We haven't even got to the news yet. We're 2 hours in.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't actually genuinely, apart from the actual games, which is a nice rare change. There's not actually a huge amount of worthwhile news to like dig into. Do you know what I mean?
Fun.
Like, I could reel off topics, but like, they're just things.
Don't have to.
Doom got a new story. Cool.
Which I'm watching that trailer right now, and it's a great trailer.
So good.
It looks cool.
That Doom trailer is a fantastic trailer.
How
good's that controller look?
Yeah.
Oh, I want one of those things so bad.
I'm getting mine today. It's already ordered. And would you believe that my Doom controller comes with a free copy of Dragon Age Valguard?
Wait, what?
Thanks.
I'm like,
EA?
okay, I'll take that free game. Sure. Why not?
Random.
That's new. I didn't know that was a thing. That's cool.
Poor EA.
The controllers have cosmetic for the Dark Ages in them, I think. You get DLC code. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm torn because I don't want to open the controller.
Oh no!
You'll live without the cosmetic. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's just
don't watch that trailer if you haven't seen it. Though. It looks amazing.
The only thing that Doom was also in the news for this week, and yes, I deliberately framed my tweet for this news story in a way that would cause the maximum amount of.
You hooked a lot of idiots.
I did straight away. I just threw the line out, and all of them console wars. Microsoft and Bethesda did an exclusive to PlayStation's YouTube channel. IGN did pull it and put it on their thingy about Doom. Why did they do that? Because they are selling it to those customers, and they talked about the PS5 Pro.
And they didn't get the wrap. They didn't get the controller. So they gave them a trailer anyone can watch.
Yeah, and there's a couple of tidbits in there. The game has 22 levels, but the big focus of it was revealing the Cosmic Realm, which is super Lovecraftian, per Hugo Martin, the developer over at id. It looks great. I mean, it just was more. I know they showed a couple of new guns that we hadn't seen, including one that has like a giant iron ball that you just punch out, and it goes out on like a chain and just clocks people, and then you yank it back in. Looks super satisfying. I really want to get my hands on this game.
It is very fun to use. It is.
I can't wait. I can't wait to try it. It's looking.
Bethesda's normally nice to us, and so hopefully we'll get some extras, and we can have a round table about it around launch.
Yeah.
You know the Doom Elite controller is already sold out.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Not surprised.
Like, people go, why do Microsoft make so many controllers? And it's like, because people buy them and they're inexpensive for them, to make. Versus
And
what you
outside
pay
of like
for.
the regular one, which had all the weird texture stuff on it and is really cool, like most of them are just the same molds, and so it's not hard to just try and make something you think people are going to think is cool.
Yeah.
Can someone from Microsoft send me the Elite controller, please?
No.
It's nice to want things, mate.
I'll show it on the show.
We're not on the court. We're not in the cool
Yeah.
kids.
I'm in America, but I still don't get anything.
Yeah, that's not fair, though.
I think
Blame
you should
me.
have a fair exchange of control. To
Yeah.
controller.
Hey, yeah, that's right. Like, come on, guys.
Mhm.
Control.
right.
Control. Come
Damn
on.
right.
There's some other news bits. There's a couple that I do want to call out. Some heads up for folks if they didn't listen to headlines during the week. Gamesbeat have spun off from VentureBeat to become a niche independent publication. So congrats to Dean Takahashi and Mike Minotti, and the rest of that team. Cool, good for you. Don't go under, please.
They already have
you out there.
investors, which we don't. Like they have private investors. Don't know who they are, but like they win full on independent. They got funding, so
Good for them.
yeah.
Get that bag.
Congratulations.
I'm very happy for Mike and team. The Division 2's Battle for Brooklyn is out in May. I haven't played the Division 2. I played the Division. I should probably grab that when it's on sale next, right?
Yeah.
I could just ask
The game is good.
Ubisoft. They'll give me one.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah,
They're
maybe-
incredibly
maybe-
nice.
I really liked the Division 1. It was fun, but it's
The Division
getting in
2
with a team
became
of people to
better
play.
in every way. Like at launch, it struggled to have the end game or anything like that. But so it came out in 2019, was kind of dead like 6 months in, but then it went on sale and everyone bought it and was like, oh shit, this is amazing. So they spun up a new team who have been working on it since. Essentially did the first Warlords of New York expansion, which was very good, going back to New York after a gigantic tsunami had fucked it up horribly after the first game. So that's kind of how they reset everything that you had built. Put in they much like Towerborn, which is coming out next week. They very liberally grabbed systems from Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. So the way gear sets work, the way you can pull specific stats off of items and bank them in a library to then add them to your new gear so you can try and make it the bestest of all time. Like they have 8 billion carrots on sticks. They put a roguelike mode in. They put in a Nephilim area. Like there's so much to do in that game that alone or with friends, like you can spend 200-300 hours in it and not feel bored. And the continued support that Ubisoft gives games like this is pretty much unmatched by anyone except for probably Microsoft. Like it's just crazy that this game that's going to be 6 years old is getting a second expansion 4 years after the first one, and it looks this good. Like I am excited. I'm on the list to get a code, so
Nice.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
Nice.
excited for that.
Out of that, there's some lots of release dates. Ghosts of Yōtei got a release date randomly in a tweet from PlayStation and a blog post rather than anything else, which is odd to me, but
It's
whatever.
very pretty.
October 2nd. God, it does look absolutely stunning.
Its story premise
Pretty-
seems kind of or like the main thing feels very similar to Shadows, where it's like you got this list of Onryos and you're going after them, kind of like Shadows had its many circles of it. But outside of that, it looks really good.
RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business is out on July 17th. That looks
Nice.
like a lot of continued fun for fans.
It's
of
RoboCop the
the
Raid.
original.
You're going up
Yeah.
an enormous tower. It's perfect. They're very smart.
Yep.
Speaking of the raid, I actually watched Gareth Evans' new Netflix movie Havoc with Tom Hardy today.
Oh, was it good?
I'm saying it's,
Like, Gareth Evans can still film action in a way that very few directors get, and like those action sequences are just like, yeah. But it was an average movie, really, in the grand scheme of things. There were some really cool shots, but otherwise, I was just like, It was the Raid 2. I'll put it
no,
that
the
way.
Raid 2 is still the Raid 2 and Killzone 2 are like my pinnacle for action.
Gotcha.
The Raid 2 is like stunning. Like I went, yeah, it's an incredible movie. I love that film. Nick will like this one. Michael Bay and Sydney Sweeney
I can't. Well, that's so random.
Team up on an adaptation of popular video game Outrun.
Outrun.
What is it when you
So
think of
random.
Outrun? There's a blonde lady
What?
on the right side of the car. What is Sydney
Yeah.
Sweeney? A blonde lady.
She's a
Bam.
blonde lady.
There you go.
Nailed
You
it.
you see that blonde lady from the back.
On the
Oh.
movie, you will
Sweeney's
see her from the front.
Preferred angle appears to be the front.
That's-
So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
I want that to be in the marketing. See
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney from the front.
Yeah.
Shoot it now. My gosh, this
Shoot it
movie's
now.
made $8 billion. Like, how did this happen?
Oh my god.
John, I forgot to put
Sega's
this in
like,
there,
We should do more of these.
but
Get a
Sydney-
sequel out.
Sydney Sweeney also producing the Split Fiction movie. She's all in on
Yes.
video games. I
Oh,
forgot to put that
yeah.
in there.
I didn't know that she was a
That's
video
right.
game head. I did not know this.
Seems like it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think
Yep.
she's starring in as well,
Yeah.
isn't she? Or is she just producing? Yeah.
She's a
So,
producer
she's
and,
gonna
yeah.
be. She's gonna be.
She's going to be doing the British
Kate.
accent. Is it going to be any good?
Yeah, well, will she?
What do you think,
Oh,
John?
Lord.
Will she be able to talk like a
The
British
twee
lady?
British accent.
What would an Outrun movie be about?
I guarantee you, it will be a lovable anti-hero rogue teaming up and on the run from the police
Guy on the left
in a
of Brit-
Ferrari with Sydney Sweeney in the front.
He's got brown hair. Who's
Trying
he
to
gonna
get
be?
to his kids? Something like that.
Oh.
Some bullshit like that.
what
That'll be-
boring white guy with brown hair is it going to be on the left?
Yeah, that's gonna be that.
Let's
Glenn
see.
Powell.
Probably Gosling, but
Glenn Powell
Yeah.
could do it. Yeah, Glenn Powell.
Glenn
would be-
Powell.
They're gonna
I'll
get
just team
Jack
up
Quaid to
again.
do it.
mm.
And I love Jack Quaid. I
Mhm.
love
Oh,
Jack
yeah,
Quaid, but
Jack
they're gonna
Quaid.
get Jack Quaid.
Wait, none of them are bad. It's just they're safe. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I like Glenn Powell.
No,
Glenn
no,
Powell
yeah.
is cool.
Mm. They're all
He's-
good.
Glenn Powell's
They're just
cruise.
very safe.
Novocaine was fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell the
and
news story.
this is my
It's a movie.
this is my favorite story news wise, and I think like it has to be mad props for the guys that are doing this. Similar to the story you were saying at the beginning of the show, Carl, with the Spawnies and the level of effort and work and just trying to figure out how to do this right. I've got this idea. How do I pull this off? One of the big things when Microsoft announced the Xbox Game Showcase for 2025 was everyone in the media and fans that look forward to FanFest every year. Microsoft hires out some fancy cinema hall type thing, shoves everyone in with the media. They all watch the showcase. There's lots of cheering and hollering, and it's all great and lovely. Cool. Not this year. For a variety of reasons. You could look at the economy. You could look at people flying into the United States, ending up in like camps. I don't know. I don't want to get political.
Reasonable.
But maybe Microsoft were like, let's not do that this year. Unfortunately, the Xbox community disagree, and led by Ben Kenobi and I think Woggerman and I think Ains from Season Gaming, they are working on organizing their own community-focused Xbox Game Showcase watch party in LA.
Right.
So for all the folks that had bought flights or booked hotels and couldn't cancel them, well, now maybe there's still a reason to go. And what's really cool is I've already seen people pop up, like Parris Lily was in the tweet thread saying, "Hey, I'll be there." Like I'm sure we'll make an appearance.
No, we'll be co-streaming.
I even saw Major Nelson pop up and go, "Need a host?" Like
Yeah.
it would be so cool for those guys if that community completely rallied and got together and something cool happened anyway.
Could they
so
fly me out there?
I don't think they'd fly anyone out there, Nick. No. I don't
Could
think they'd
they?
pay for you? Like they would be like, we've got a really limited budget. What should we spend 10 grand on?
The Tupac
Nick is sort
hologram.
of business
My
class.
flight.
You get the
Yeah.
you get the Tupac hologram, but it's Phil, and he records a message for him. That'll be worth
Oh,
$100
yeah.
grand.
That'd be worth it.
Yeah.
I
But I
do
think-
find the speculation funny that the reason they didn't do it was because they're probably going to have a lot of PlayStation and Switch logos at the end of their games
Yeah, it's
in
not.
the showcase, and they don't want to field all the questions at the FanFest about why all the PlayStation and Switch logos.
I mean, if that's the thing that people would roll up and say at the event and be like, "Why are there other consoles getting the games that I'm going to play anyway?"
How dare they?
I think they would. I mean, when we had Phil on, all we copped was, look at all the softball questions. Why didn't you ask him
The
all these
people
tough
that would be at
questions?"
FanFest wouldn't be the type that would
Yeah.
say shit in person.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that people think that
Paper
that's why
tigers.
Microsoft didn't have a fan fest, I don't think it's that.
Nobody's spending money on extraneous activities that require people to fly to the U.S.
Agreed.
I haven't thought about it, but I have read some horror stories. And I'm
You
like,
need a second phone, or you need to get rid of social media from your phone, or only have it logged in on the XboxEra account.
right? Well, I don't typically like. I think I maybe have like 2 or 3 tweets out of lots of tweets that might have thrown
That'd be
some
enough.
shade at certain political figures in.
You'll be locked up
States of America.
for months.
I mean, it'd be an adventure, wouldn't it? I've always wanted to visit El Salvador. Like, what? What's the problem? Okay, no, I don't want to get political. I don't want to do that to me. People get upset and offended. Don't want to do that.
They'll get even more upset in 2 weeks when all of their video game prices go up.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
that's winning. That's called winning, mate. Sorry. Just want to be clear. Don't get political. I love poking fun at this stuff. I'm sorry if you're taking life so seriously. Chill out, people. Now, I think that's all the news, Nick. Look, we rattled through that in 10 minutes or less.
Beautiful.
You know what that means? You know what that
Game
means?
show time.
It means you better put on that big best game show host voice you can, bro. Here we go. It's time.
Game
for
show
what
time.
year, my dear, I think. Or name a game. I can't remember. It's that time again for a little bit of what year, my dear. A wonderful game show where Nick and I do battle on behalf of some of our incredible Patreon community to win them a game code from Jesse's big sack of game codes. But this week, it's going to be hosted by Carl as he asks us the questions about when these games released and watch me flail desperately and somehow still pull it off. A big thank you to all of our patrons. You guys are 100% the reason we're able to still do this week in, week out, and produce as much amazing content across XboxEra.com and here on YouTube as we do. So we love you guys. Thank you very much. This week, Nick, who are we playing for?
I am playing for Spiky Ben. The first E
Spiky.
being replaced by a 3.
I would
Very
like you
clever.
to pronounce it
Elite
as
speak.
Spick 3 Yibben.
Spick 3. Spick 3 E Ben. And John is playing for Jim Jam Jimbo,
Oh,
which I
nice.
think
Jim
is
Jimbo.
Jim Ryan's online gamer tag.
That's correct. Accurate reporting. All right. Car, good luck. You know, this is a lot of pressure, but
All
I
right.
believe in you. You got this.
I
Massive
believe.
pressure.
So I'm just going to ask you
So-
which title, and then you're going to give me the year, correct?
Yep.
That's-
So,
that's
but
correct.
first, they need to know what's the category, which is right at the very top.
Category for this game of what year, my dear, is JRPGs or
Ah,
J.
shit.
Fuck.
Shit.
You son of a bitch.
Category is not shit fuck. It is JRPGs.
Shit.
And
Okay.
first off, we're gonna go to,
Classic.
or is it?
Yeah, just, you can go straight down.
one?
Yeah,
All right, perfect.
good.
First one up is Final Fantasy for the NES.
Oh my
What
God.
year,
Are you
my
serious?
dear? did
Come
that
on
game
now.
Why is this so big? Holy shit, let me fix you.
When did the NES release? We're in
We
the
don't
80s,
give we don't
right?
give him these answers because he should
Yeah.
We're in
fucking
the
know by
80s.
now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jesus
We're in
Christ!
the 80s. Okay, I'm going to go for this will be fine.
I think
All
I'm
right.
off. I think I'm ahead by a year on this one.
Gentlemen, give us your years in 3, 2, 1.
Hey!
Oh, we both got 87.
Oh. The answer is 1987. Correct.
Oh. Yeah,
I just
see?
pulled
He
that
just
right
pulls
out
a
of my
random year
arse.
out of his fucking ass, and he just gets it.
Every time.
Jesse,
No,
who
I-
went from shit fuck to yes, also gets that one correct. Nicely done.
I have to admit, I'm really liking the voice. Like, you're putting a lot of effort in. It's appreciated.
I mean, you got. If you're gonna do, you got to do it right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
wish I could have given you some reverb for you get the whole on thing, but I don't know how to do that
Oh
yet.
wait, I haven't checked my GoXLR. I haven't gotten it dialed in yet. Next game for what year, my dear, is Final Fantasy. What number is that? I can't do
16,
Roman
newest
numbers.
one.
16.
I went
On the
from beginning to
PS5.
end.
Oh God,
Yes.
the newest one.
Yep.
The newest.
Yeah, I know. It should be an easy question
It
to
should
answer.
be an
but you
easy
don't give a shit
question.
about
Okay, well,
that.
then, gentlemen,
That's
give
really
me your
dumb,
year
too.
in 5, 4,
Man.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, I've got a year over, haven't I? I've got a
looks
year over.
like Nick is 1 year too early,
Ah,
and Jesse has
Jesse.
gotten number 2. The number is 2-1 for Jesse in this round.
Nope, John.
Next up,
John.
what was that? Oh, John. Sorry,
Ducking. I'm weaving.
John.
It's all good.
Next up, Persona 3 on the PS2. What year
Crap.
did that game release?
Oh, my God.
Okay, we're talking early noughties for PS2, right?
Mhm.
Persona 3. Well, let's give a couple of
3.
years.
Gentlemen, give me your
John's
year
going to be like
in
1996.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wait.
Nope.
Fucking hell.
That's a point deducted. He just copied my sheet.
He wasn't even looking.
You're on. Judge.
Ooh, you were close. You were both close, but you are both early.
Ah.
That year was
Ah.
2006.
Oh, God,
The
come
year when
on.
People could steal it on the internet. 2006. Next one up is Tales of Arise on the Xbox One and PS4. What year did that release?
Ah.
I don't know.
It released while we were a website. Xbox
Oh,
One, but
okay.
you know it's Xbox One and
Really?
PS4.
That
Ooh.
late?
Ooh,
Oh,
Wow.
that's a good hint. That's a good
Oh.
hint.
Like it's literally the
That's a good
first
hint.
one of the first ones in a while to be on the Xbox again.
Chat is going wild and dropping numbers left and right.
All wrong. They're trying though.
All wrong. All
It's
wrong. Good try.
disappointing, but they're trying. Because they have Google. But it shows you can trust them to not use it.
That's, you know what? An honorable chat. Honorable chat.
I don't know. I'm sure John's just going to guess it if I can get it right.
That's
I
for
know.
chat.
These
Gentlemen,
are-
give us your year in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
shit.
close,
I've gone
but
too
no
early.
cigar. John is a little bit too early, and Nick is also 1 year off. It was 2021.
Oh,
So that means I get a point, don't I? Just
But I only
closest
give
without
dings
going
if,
over?
I only give dings if you get it right on the dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next game up, Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii. What year did that bad boy come out?
oh crap.
Don't worry, Jay Foley. I will save your super chat for you. We will get to it.
Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii.
For the Wii.
Numero uno.
For the W.
No, you don't look at that.
Coffee's
That's
arrived.
cheating. Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna say, if you own it, don't look at it.
caffeine.
Wait.
I'll give you a little bit more time because
shit.
you just got your coffee.
True.
Yeah.
John just
I've got
beating
this
his
wrong.
meat in the
I've
corner
got
there.
this
All
wrong.
right, go, John.
Ooh, let's see. It was 2010.
Yes, straight out of my butt crack.
Straight out of his butt crack. Go to control.com/com to go make sure you're putting in those orders.
Oh my God,
Next
no.
up. Next up
For Nick.
we almost lost Nick to burnt mouth.
Oh my God.
Is Blue Dragon for the 360. What year did that game come out?
Nick was going to be
shit.
the
I
next
love Blue
old
Dragon.
lady to sue McDonald's for coffee being
I
too
know.
hot.
I was like, please do it.
Now
You'll
that
be rich.
that's always people like, oh, how did she make money? It's because it was unbelievably hot. It was almost boiling when they gave it to her.
Like
It
30-degree burns,
scalded her
right?
horribly. Yeah,
Yeah.
gentlemen, give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, 1 year too late. Both of you.
What was
2006.
06?
Oh,
I was going to
2006.
say 06 as well.
I
That was
thought
very-
it was
that
in
was
the
very
year
close.
of dreams.
Yeah. Shout out to Media Molecule. Nino Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch for PS3.
Oh, yeah.
What year, my dear? And also, that
Oh
name
my-
is too goddamn long.
God.
You should see some of the ones I do in the other game show. Name a game. They're very long.
I'm surprised. I would not be surprised.
I'm taking a massive gamble here.
Give me your year in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, no. For neither one of those answers, it was 2011.
So John does get 1 point.
Closest without going over, baby.
Closest without going over. Closest without going over.
So I said I'm taking a massive gamble.
Yeah, that was a good guess though. Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube. What year did that? John almost choked on his drink.
Come on now.
The fuck is this?
You don't get to think long, gentlemen. Give me your year in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
we got a game.
Very, very nice. It looks like Nick has gotten it right. 2003
no.
is the year. That's when discs were small and so were children.
Oh man, GameCube was so good.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Twin Snakes, baby.
Twin Snakes, baby. Next up is Earthbound on the SNES.
Oh God, this is like my weakness.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the SNES is that 1970s.
Yeah,
1981.
That's got to be around.
Gentlemen,
right?
give me your year in 5.
Wait.
4,
Earthbound NES.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh, chat is wrong. Ooh, John, nicely done. You got it. 1994.
Oh, I love it. I love
Magic, man. This man, I'm taking you with me to the
It's
to
all
the
educated
casino, man.
guesstimates. It's
I'm
all
taking you to
educated.
casinos, man. Jeez, 1994 for Earthbound SNES. Next up is Persona on the PlayStation.
Number 1.
Oh,
Number 1.
The one nobody ever seems to want to remaster.
True.
Yeah.
Chat is moving fast and furious trying to figure out this year.
I don't know. When did the fucking
Gentlemen, give me your year in 5, 4,
Oh, I don't
3,
know. I don't know.
2, 1.
Boom.
Woo! Both of you are late. 1996 was the year. So close, so close, so close, so close.
I don't mind as long as Nick doesn't catch
That's like
up.
3 times I've gone 1 year later than I was
Yeah,
going.
man. So close, so close, so close. Next up is Dragon Quest X on Wii, Wii U, and PC.
Dragon Quest Aaron Greenberg edition.
Wii U and PC.
Yep.
Wii U, and PC.
Yep.
Oh my God.
X gonna give it to you.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go 1 year earlier than I was going to go and watch me get punished for it.
Gentlemen, give me your year in 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
You are punished for it, but you are closer than John is. It is 2011.
We both
Good job,
went over though. No
Yeah,
points.
one over.
Hi, bro.
All right. Are you ready,
Wait,
Jen?
hold on,
for your
hold
next
on.
one? Oh.
Hold on, John. But Jesse said Wii and Wii U. The Wii U came out in 2012.
It says on Wikipedia.
The Wii U itself came out in 2012.
We should
so how is
both just
2011
get a
possible?
point. We should
Well,
both
no.
just get a point. I think it's fine.
But the game
Nick
itself.
is looking to the Russian judge. Russian judge, what
I
do you
own a
say?
Wii U. I own a Wii U. The Wii U came out in 2012, so a game couldn't have released for it a year earlier.
Oh, Jesse, you're the last batch.
13 to 10. Nick is only 3 points behind.
Whoa, why are you giving him more points? We
Why
both.
not? He nailed it.
got
You were a year
equally.
over.
True.
Thank you.
True.
The judges have looked at it, and
I know.
He was a year over.
with the Wii U,
Russian-
with the
No,
Wii U
wasn't.
being included by Wikipedia, it's on them for being
The
wrong.
Wii U came out in 2012,
Yeah.
mate. So
This
a game
is-
could not
this
have
is some-
released on it.
Yeah,
I have said
guess
every time
2013. I'm not
existed.
arguing that.
You can yell
If
all
I
you
lose
want
because of this
at Wikipedia.
bullshit.
I take no.
Don't-
What year, my
take
dear?
my
It's on
money.
me. This one, or
Chat,
what year, my
who
dear?
gets
It's
the
on
point,
me.
chat? Chat, who gets
Name
the
again.
point? Just write it in the chat. Who gets the point? Oh, it's beautiful.
John
I love
can
it.
this
go
away from me.
himself.
Whoa,
Oh.
hey, whoa.
What? I said you can go love
Oh.
yourself.
Oh.
We were talking about that earlier with the Beat the Meat show.
Wow.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
Next up is Chrono Cross for the PS1.
Oh,
What
shit.
year, my dear, did that game come out?
Oh my God.
Also, the chat said Nick gets the point anyway.
Thank you.
I won't do the sound drops very
This
often.
has to be the one where I even it up. This has to be the one.
Gentlemen,
Come
give me your
Chrono
year
Cross
in 5,
on the
Got my-
PS1.
4,
Chrono
3,
Cross.
2, 1. You're Jesus. Nope, you went a point behind.
Nick is way off. 1999 is the
Oh,
Point for John.
closest without going over though. I'll take
Yep.
it.
1999.
There's only
is the
3
year
left.
for Chrono
Yeah.
Cross. 3 left for this edition of What
It's a
Year, My
4-point game.
Dear.
I compete with someone
It is-
just running on luck. I can't compete with that.
It's I mean, you have three questions to get to come back. Octopath Traveler for the Switch. What year did that game release?
Oh fuck.
Octopath Traveler for the Switch.
Gentlemen, give me your year.
Pre-tariff.
In five,
Pre-tariff.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa. Ooh, you are both wrong. It is 2018.
Oh,
2018.
Brutal.
Upset.
Brutal, gents. Brutal.
You
So
gotta
close.
you gotta nail both of these, Nick. It's your only chance.
Yeah,
2 more.
you got to do
I
that.
know.
All right.
I don't have the guessing fluke ability. I think through my answer and actually try and get the right year.
Boo! Nobody likes your complaining and whining. Boo!
All right, last two, gents. Are you ready? Breath of Fire for the SNES. What year did that game come out?
The 4th game for that just hit GOG out of nowhere.
Did it really?
Yeah. People were shocked. They were like, "What the fuck? Breath of Fire
What the hell?
on PC in 2025."
All right.
Gentlemen, give me your years.
is this the wait? Sorry, is this the SNES?
Yes.
Yes,
That's
SNES version of Breath of Fire.
Oh, so it's in the
What's the
90s.
difference,
All right. No, wait. The 2000s? I'll forget.
Wait, it's
What is it?
1973, isn't it?
Ooh, 1781. I'll get a point for being lowest.
Take a
Yeah.
piss.
Give me your years in 3, 2, 1. Now. Do it, John.
Oh
Now.
God.
Now.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Nick got it wrong.
Oh, wow. 1993. John has gotten it
Wow.
again.
John wins.
Big-
The last one's for fun.
Last one's for funsies.
Okay.
Bravely Default for the 3DS.
Curveball. 3DS.
Oh,
Did
you
that come
son
out
of a
in
bitch.
1980? Oh, no.
This
Sorry.
is
That was
when
98. Oi.
Oi.
The
Oi, God.
3DS. I can't even remember when the 3DS was.
Yeah,
a thing.
that was the
Noise.
curveball I threw.
Noise.
That's a curveball.
Well,
Panasonic.
John,
3DS.
somehow
No, that's
still get it
3DO.
right in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, nicely done, Nick. Nick pulls it out of the depths of.
He got that. That
Oh.
one was
Game
so hard and he got it
2012,
right.
which is-
Tie game.
Yes, that was the one you got right. That's
Well
why.
played, Nick. Well played,
7.1.
mate. Good game. Good game. GG's.
Gentlemen,
GG's,
thank
mate.
you for playing this edition of What Year, My Dear for April 26th, 2025.
Thanks for being a
Category
good
was-
host, though, Kaleif.
Yeah, that was like one of the best.
The best
hosting
guest host
experiences of my
since
life.
Phil did What
Yeah.
Year, My Dear.
Yeah, since Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer hosted a game show for us.
Shout out to me knowing how to read. Thank you.
In this country, that is not a given anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Let's get it
fine.
out.
Oh,
Consonants
that's
and
great.
vowels. Thank you.
Sorry, Jim Jam.
Well, yeah, congratulations.
Good job,
Jim Jam
boys.
Jimbo.
Now you
Good
get
times.
another game added to your backlog. I'm sorry.
I would have failed all of these, so you did much better than I would have.
If you
It's
ever
a lot of
see-
stress.
If you ever see Name a Game, oh, this is nothing
Yeah.
compared to that.
Oh God.
I mean, Friday nights is just I just sitting there looking at release dates of hardware, just reading obscure game release dates in the hopes that they'll just be in my brain.
Just red
That's- yeah.
strings on a board, just like
That's it. Just trying to figure out
1993.
when did the SNES release though. And it just doesn't go in. I just don't know.
I almost lost my mind because you said 3DS, and the first thing that came to my mind was 3DO, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
I thought you said Panasonic. I was like,
yeah. I was like, that's
What?
the first thing I was like,
I had,
3DO.
I had
was like,
for a very
Panasonic.
short time, I had a 3DO. And I had a Jaguar as well.
I wish I had a
Sorry,
3DO. I
Nico.
really wanted one real bad, actually.
I
Oh,
wanted a
man.
Neo Geo.
I have
But
I have a
it was like-
console that no one has because it's so old. At least people don't have it anymore. I have a Bally
Which one?
Astrocade
wow,
Oh,
that is
wow.
old school.
and a
Holy
Vextrex.
shit.
I've never even heard of a Vextrex.
Wow.
The oldest
Yeah.
piece
No,
of
I have.
hardware
The
I
Vectrex
own
I have.
is
Yeah.
a BBC Micro.
Oh
Which-
yeah,
That was
Yeah.
that was my gaming upbringing.
Yeah.
Those big
I wanted
floppy
a Neo
discs.
Geo. But
I
like
want a Neo Geo real bad.
back in like 1992 or 93, the Neo Geo was like $1,000 Australian dollars back
Mhm.
then, which would be like probably $5,000 now. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
because you
That's
were just
stupid.
buying the arcade board and whatever. So it was too expensive. But I would have loved the Neo Geo.
I wonder how much they cost now if you to get one.
Oh my god, I don't even want to know.
A lot.
It'd be
We have a retro con here that comes to Portland every year, and everything that is so expensive. It is so expensive.
It is.
It's an expensive hobby.
Yep.
Now, as we look towards the horizon and the end of the show, the one thing we have to do is spend some time acknowledging how brilliant our Patreon community is. They power XboxEra to the great heights that we regularly fail to achieve. But we love you. We love you very much, and we appreciate everybody across all the tiers for all of their contributions in making us the best Xbox focused site out there that isn't owned by a massive corporation. Good for you guys. As a big thank you, one of the perks of being a Patreon member is being able to ask us increasingly long questions, not community questions every week. And we've got a few
to be superseded at first by this super chat by Jay Foley that he did during what year, my dear?
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
But before anyone reads that,
Foley.
head to patreon.com/XboxEra if you want to be one of the cool kids.
Yep. Or patreon.com/XboxEra/gift if you want to let others be the cool kids, and you can drop that in chat by DMing it to me, because we don't actually allow links in chat because of all the porn bots.
True.
Porn?
Not the good one, Nick. You click on this and your entire computer just goes.
Okay. Max a virus proof.
Yeah, you want the other thing to go, not your computer.
True.
Are we talking about Carlos Beat the Meat show again?
No, we're talking about the Outrun movie. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Sydney Sweeney's front. Jay Foley super chat. Hey guys, with Wilds, Split Fiction, and now 33, with still many games left to release this year, could 2025 be the toughest Game of the Year winner at the Game Awards? I hope you guys all have a good weekend.
Just be GTA.
No. You reckon?
I don't know. Like, I don't think the critics that decide like what gets to win Game of the Year, it'll be nominated for sure. But I feel like your most critics would try and go for
recency bias.
I mean, like think about Expedition 33. I'm just talking off the cuff here. Small team, debut game, just knocked it out of the park in so many imaginable ways that I feel like that's going to be the hot favorite going into Game of the Year.
The thing that's going to happen,
where millions and millions of dollars.
Split Fiction, Expedition 33. They're going to split each other. They're going to hurt each other's votes. And GTA is just going to come in as the most
GTA
recent.
6 is this year. I still don't think it's this year.
Everything's moving away from it. Nothing wants to be mid to late October, early November.
2020. I reckon it's next year's game.
For my sources. No, I'm just playing.
I think Doom the Dark Ages is a genuine shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. I don't think it'll win
votes.
Game of the Year, but I think it'll definitely be in the mix.
It won't win, but it'll be up there, I reckon.
Yeah.
Looks so good.
It's a tough year, though.
No.
That is true.
It's going to be either Death Stranding 2 or Ghost of Yōtei.
Oh, yeah, Death Stranding 2. Oh, my God. Actually, yeah, Death Stranding 2's already got it, doesn't it?
It doesn't have to review well either. It can be like an 81 and still get nominated.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get nominated.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like lots of people are out there this week in Tokyo, but they're staying for a week to play lots of Death Stranding 2. I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah.
Like for a preview? Like
I feel like they're playing like for 2 days and then hanging out for the other 3.
Yeah, especially because when you're flying for a full day almost, you want to make it worth it.
Yeah. True.
That was like Nick was Gamescom. He was flying for over a day, so
infinitely jealous.
What was I doing?
Gamescom, when you had to fly for over a day.
Oh my God,
No.
so much fun.
You want to make it worth it if you're doing that much.
It was in comfort.
Yeah.
Those business class flights, man. Qatar Airways business class. Oh boy. Shit. Steak with potato.
Damn.
With a coffee. Had some I took photos. It was an amazing experience. It was so good.
That's so great.
I was watching Friends for like 13 hours straight. It was so good.
Horror show.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Wow.
Anyway,
All right.
While our patrons didn't fund my business class flight, I still appreciate them nonetheless. And the best perk really of being an XboxEra patron is getting to ask us community questions for the show by far. Jesse, Are we with Omen first?
Yep, you can just go right down the list. I'll have them ready to go.
Okay. Omen. Happy Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order week. I hope you were able to grab one. I was not. As in, Omen was not. I did. I got one like a month ago. Anyway, there's a ton of Xbox games surely to be announced for Switch 2, and I'm curious how you think they might announce them. Will they be at the June showcase, a dedicated Switch Xbox event, maybe a Nintendo partner event? Maybe they'll just announce it in a blog post. Curious what your thoughts are. Cheers.
Blog post.
I'm thinking combo. I'm thinking a combo of blog posts and a partner event.
From Nintendo, do you mean?
Yes. So Nintendo does do partner directs. They'll have the bigger name games as part of the partner direct, and then the smaller stuff blog post. That's my guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ton of sense.
Oh boy. Can't wait to have Master Chief on
Muted
Switch.
himself, and he's trying to get away with not anyone noticing.
I thought I pulled that off. I think we'll see Sea of Thieves, and I think we'll see probably. I would like to say we'd see.
I know it's not
Forza
Microsoft's
Horizon.
anymore, but
Well, if it's like poor Pentiment, it'll literally be a split second in like a sizzle reel during a direct.
sizzle reel.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. We're gonna see
Forza
Microsoft
Horizon
games on
5.
Switch.
That'll be at a direct.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon on Switch.
Oh,
Like Phil was recently interviewed, right? And he was like, "Yeah, Nintendo's a great partner for us." Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
So
They're
like, it's gonna
put
happen.
so much on there. But
I mean,
does that
shout
do
out
to their portable.
Nothing.
nothing. I don't think it does anything to that. I mean, the fact that they're now kind of in that space now where everyone has an expectation for things to be Steam Deck ready. They're already kind of dipping their toes into the what is it going to play like on a mobile device thing. I think we'll see Nintendo, and shout out to Nintendo for getting like really good third party support. Like they are actually pushing it really hard right now.
And they did really need it because they surprisingly don't have that much.
Yeah, they've
Honestly,
always struggled with it. Yeah.
I don't see it really working. Like, don't get me wrong, the Switch 2 is going to do fine, but I think in terms of the big publishers that are doing third party support, like as a hardcore gamer, would I like if as of all the platforms I can choose to play on, like running the worst possible version of third party games is just not on my to-do list. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to buy those games, they're going to be elsewhere. It's only if you're a Switch only gamer that's great for you. But I still am of the opinion that there are lots of people that are the Switch is like a complementary thing to their other gaming hobbies. That's just my take. I don't know. I might be wrong.
This is the moment where I think they might have stepped on a rake in terms of the hardware capacity of what Switch 2 is going to be.
Yeah.
I feel like if they had really bolstered this device, as I swing a chopstick at all of you, if they really had bolstered this piece of hardware in that way, it could actually have been the complement to what the cheaper Steam Deck would have been. And especially, we still don't even know if Sony is still going to put out a device, which they have been rumored to.
Yeah, the rumor, the PS6 handheld, which would not, it can't, like, they don't
Play
have the
PS6
setup.
games?
They don't have the setup to do like PS5 or PS6.
Right.
It would be PS4. You could do at that point because that's essentially what the Switch is doing. Is like that level of raster and all that stuff with new techniques that let you go a little beyond to be better looking. But streaming, that's why they're building up their cloud streaming, and you could stream PS5 and 6 because the portal's been super successful. So
Yeah. True story.
but then the Xbox side of things is the actual more performant. This is a Series S, which is way more than a Switch, despite what Nick wants to say. It's just it's not ready yet.
believe it is.
But it is like they're looking at it. Like if you actually look at how Cyberpunk runs in handheld mode, it's like 540p upscale to 1080 at a not inconsistent frame rate. Like it's not powerful. It's okay. It's better than the Switch was at launch. The Switch was already really old hardware at launch. Like it was already 3-year-old hardware. This is mostly relevant for their price point hardware. Like it's not as bad as the Switch was, but it's not great. and they cheaped
Yeah.
out on the dock, which is $120, which is annoying as shit. But you don't get VRR with the dock, which is crazy, because that would let you do they're only doing the 60 when you're on the dock now because it doesn't do VRR, so it's gonna look like crap when stuff's super variable on the frame rate, so they don't even allow it. So yeah, it's annoying.
Can't wait to get my Switch too. I've already got the HDMI ready here in the TV because I'm gonna.
It can be a cheap one. You don't even need a good one.
Cable cover thing running down the wall, a conduit that's going to keep all the cables neat.
Speaking of the Switch, did you see the freaking price of that Piranha Plant camera?
Yeah, it went up to $100, didn't it?
It's $60 US now.
Is it
For a 540p
camera?
camera?
Yeah,
or a
it's
480p
$5
camera?
more than the Nintendo one for the 480p camera. But it also it's got a little base, a little flower pot base, and you can pop it out.
So good.
It's cute, but it's a shitty camera for
Everyone's
$60.
going to be doing this. Hey, everybody, so you're going to be playing with your phone.
Had that camera been a 1080p camera, I would have bought it in a heartbeat.
Well,
in an absolute heartbeat.
I bet you in practice it's not going to be that different because the Switch Online is still only like 480p. It just takes the cleaner 1080p image and downscales it. Like you saw the quality of it.
It's 2025. Why are we releasing 480p cameras?
They said they did it on purpose. It was in one of the interviews. They said we downgraded it on purpose.
I reckon Nintendo forced them.
It's 480p and 5 frames per second. Like it's really shitty looking video anyways. It's not going to matter if you could put a 4K camera on there. It's not going to look good.
It's horseshit.
Ugh.
Next question. Now I'm going to call myself out here. Luke Law. I did not realize Luke was a patron.
Yep, he did it under the Xbox expansion pass name, I think.
He did.
Too. And he just upgraded.
How was that?
Thank you for upgrading, Luke. Did it months ago.
I didn't know. Thanks for that, Luke. I didn't know.
Dude's a legend.
Do you anticipate new Xbox IP at this year's summer showcases? We know so much about what they have coming. Anything new? I reckon we'll get one thing new.
Yeah.
One. Just one. That's it. At most, if anything. Because they've got so much already this year that we know about. And there's the rumored stuff that's supposedly in the pipeline. Coming down the
And
pipeline.
updates on things we've heard about.
Where the hell is Contraband?
Yeah, like Contraband and Everwild are new IP. We've just already heard of them.
Well, Phil mentioned Everwild, which leads us to believe
Double Fine. Double Fine would probably be the one that might be something new.
That would be cool.
Yes, that might be the one new.
I'm down with that. More from Tim Schafer and gang. Sign me
That'd be
up.
rad.
Yeah.
That'll be Raz.
No.
Come on, anybody? Anyone?
Raz.
High fives all around.
Isn't he?
British people shouldn't be doing puns.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Or cooking.
Man, like we invented puns, all right?
Right.
Did you? Or did you just invent shit food?
Ooh.
That's just mean. That's not even. That's just
No, that's just Britain. Nick and I went there and ate.
That's just facts.
Nick, here's a question for you. When did England when did they put in any food? What year did that
When
spawn?
did England decide to put baked beans in everything?
Beans.
Okay.
fucking hell.
Next question.
When did Graham Lennon get indicted for assault? Oh, wait, that was today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Next question is from Didact 3. Hey, gents. What a time to be alive. Never in my life I've had so many games to play between Age of Empires expansions, Oblivion Remastered, Expedition 33, Blueprints, and Commandos Origins. It's impossible to keep up and finish all of these to get ready for Towerborn and Doom, for example. So my question to the delicious panel, do you recall any other time like this? If so, how did you deal with it? Push through every game one at a time? Drop some along the way? I hate the sentiment that gaming's best days are behind us. The last time I remember having this many good games to play, I have to admit, was like late 90s. When I had like a 64, had the Dreamcast, and like the Dreamcast launch lineup was a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous that you could have 6 amazing games to play day one and have to find time to play them all while the 64 was like, here you go, here's fucking Ocarina, here's fucking GoldenEye, here's fucking Perfect Dark. And you're just like, what the fuck is happening right now? Why are there so many games? What is this bullshit? It was just nutso.
If we had only known. You know?
I feel
Oh my
like
God.
I look at that list though, and I think this is the thing, and this is why I like services like Game Pass, and the sentiment of gaming was better back in the day. It's not necessarily true, because there are games on that list that are not for me. Right? We've talked about it in this show, and I know that I'm just going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm really happy for all the people that get to play that and that and that, but I'm just going to play these two. So it becomes a lot easier. I'm more honest with myself than ever. If something's not for me, I don't try and force myself to be part of the zeitgeist of being like, oh, this is so good. Like, it's not my jam.
If you're having a
Move on
problem
with my life.
too many games and you like indies, then get a Switch 2, because as a developer has just shown, if you want to get a dev kit for the Switch 2, they just say, nope, you still can't have one.
Wow.
A guy just posted this on
Really?
Twitter. Let me see the name. It is Brock the Investigator from the freaking little alligator game. He's like, yep,
That's
still
crazy.
can't get a Switch 2 dev kit.
That's wild.
Good old. It's okay though, guys, because it's Nintendo. Remember, golden
Yeah, no,
rule.
Nick doesn't give a shit.
It's okay if Nintendo does it.
Oh, that's not true, Jesse. Hold on. Show them our DMs where I've called Nintendo all sorts of names.
I know, but you call them names and then give them thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yes, that's a different issue altogether. I can still
That's the
acknowledge.
problem I just have.
I can still acknowledge when they do something shit.
And that is Nintendo fans' problem. This is awful. I can't believe they're doing this to us. Why? Here's my wallet.
Oh man.
Come on.
Oh,
Oh, I
so
love it.
good. So good.
I love
This
it.
is the worst launch
So
I can remember for a console in a long time.
It's a pretty horrific launch.
'Cause, like, the
in
Xbox
terms of
One had-
optics and everything.
The Xbox One was infamous in the memes, but the actual lineup and everything, it was fine.
It's amazing.
But like
It's
this
actually
one is
amazing.
Mario Kart. Then in a month you get Donkey Kong. Also, you can also buy a tech
Metroid
demo,
Prime 4.
a manual, and after that there's no date on Metroid. There's no date on Kirby. Like it's a weird one because they're so good at putting games out all the time, but then the new hardware hits and this still, and I think Nick agrees with me, this 1000% still feels like it was a Switch Pro that they just delayed and then decided to make its own platform.
I think everybody was
feels-
right. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
No, go. Sorry, go.
No, I was just gonna say. I think everyone who has been saying forever that it doesn't matter how all of the kind of minutia works. It's like price increases, bad hardware, camera,
Yeah.
weirdness around game delivery.
Yes.
Does it, like everyone who is complaining about all of those things and who complained, who are like big fans of Nintendo, they were there day one on pre-orders.
Mhm.
Like, so it doesn't matter. Like it when people bring it up now, I'm just like, why are you even talking about that? They're an anomaly. They can, the fandom and the team can do whatever they want.
Whatever they
and
want.
People are gonna buy whatever they want. So
Yep.
Accurate.
I'm with more.
Accurate.
I've
Series
said it.
X and PS5 were
I've
bad.
grouped
They didn't really have
I've
anything.
grouped all the fans in the past. I've said the Xbox fans legitimately criticize, they crack the shits, they complain because they know that Xbox listens. We all know that Team Xbox listens.
Yeah.
Nintendo fans, like, they're this weird group of begrudging, like, they fully acknowledge Nintendo's horse shit and just be like, whatever, fuck it. Just give it to me.
And
Let me buy it.
you get in the middle with PlayStation where they had one game that was legitimately next gen in Ratchet and Clank, where like it's not fun to play on a hard drive. You can, but the portals and the way they work, it's just better on the SSD. But everything else they just artificially held back. Like there's no reason any of those games couldn't have come out on PS4. Like Godfall, this is only possible to power PS5, and then a couple years later, it got a PS4
That's
port.
old school video game marketing.
Yeah, like
though.
they
That's
know.
just old school video game.
And Microsoft didn't bother doing that. Like they could have held off Gears Tactics, and they could have even held off Gears 5 and only put them out on the Series X. But they were of the mindset of like, we don't have that much else right now. We're in the middle of rebuilding. We got to put some stuff out, and then we'll just do a ton of free upgrades. Like the Series X version of Gears 5 is essentially a full remaster of it.
yeah.
I mean, apparently Grand Theft Auto 3 wasn't possible on the Dreamcast.
Unless you're a
Yeah.
good fan.
Here we are.
Yeah.
And you know those devs have managed to get it running at 60
Wow.
on Dreamcast?
I don't know how that
Like,
well.
What in the fuck?
I just want Nintendo
How-
fans to admit it. That's all I want. I'm not even saying to change your behavior. Just admit it.
I think most do. I think most do.
Grub
But
and
again,
Minotti do.
just-
They know.
It just doesn't. I think they do acknowledge and admit it, but the love is too. Like in the end, the Switch 2 in Australia is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
$700. That is insane to me. I paid $650 for my digital PS5.
I had it in the notes. The Brazilian price is like around $1,000 US because of their tariffs and stuff. Like it's crazy how much it is. And it was like $900 in Mexico US equivalent.
But
You know
but
how
in
many
the end-
real mushrooms I could buy for this?
but in the end, there's no world where I'm not going to play Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
So I just don't have a choice. Like,
Yeah.
You just
it
wait
is what
and
it is.
they'll hack it and then you can just play it on your
Yeah.
PC. And it'll be a lot better.
I have a Mac.
Hey, you can figure it out there too, I'm sure.
Boot,
It's fine.
boot camp your Mac into Windows to get into the.
Yeah, I know. I just can't be bothered with that stuff.
You'd rather spend $1,000.
Yeah, on Tears of the Kingdom, which I didn't even end up liking that much.
Tears of the wallet.
Oh my god. Next question.
Yeah.
Ben Angelo. Hey guys, I'm going to keep it short this week. Do you think we will get a new trailer in June for the new Star Wars Jedi game?
Nah, it's too soon.
No.
Chairs, Ben. Who's making the new Star Wars Jedi game?
It would
Is
always
still
be Respawn, I'd imagine. And they're
Yeah.
they're helping on the tactical one.
0 day.
Tactical one.
Zero something.
I think the
0
focus will be
Zero
there.
Dark 30.
I think the focus will be there rather than overshadowing the tactical game, with their new game.
Yeah, and it's only been 2 years, so
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for the Bit Reactor game though.
Yep.
That sounds really fun.
XCOM Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do all right.
dark and gritty stormtroopers. Right at
Still
Order
wish
66.
Halo
time.
Wars would go turn-based. I
Mm.
wish Halo Wars would go turn-based like Gears Tactics. Be so good.
Oh, it doesn't have to be Halo Wars. Then it can be something. It would be a different genre. So, you know.
Halo Wars, you've got the name though. You've got the
Yeah,
name.
but it's
with
not.
it.
I mean,
Use it.
it's an RTS.
Eh.
How good.
Next question. Come
Give
on,
these people air.
give me Gears Tactics.
Everything's got
Yeah,
9mm bullets on it.
I want
All
turn-based. Have you
Look at the
seen?
delirium.
It's
point of the
crazy
show.
how much his son, like, I'm watching White Lotus at the moment, and Patrick Schwarzenegger is in it. Man,
Yeah.
it's nuts how much he looks like his dad.
Yeah, he does.
But you put a
Like-
syringe into Arnold and extract all the steroids.
Yeah, that's right. It's like Arnie before Tren.
Ow!
Wow.
Don't take my stuff.
You leave Arnie alone, right? He's a hero to many people.
He's a good governor.
Yeah.
He terminated the opposition.
Only do it to Gavin Newsom.
Next question.
No one likes him. No one.
It's okay.
Happy podcast 260, Magagas. What the hell's Magagas?
And
Have
I had
no
that
idea.
once. I had that once.
you don't want to know.
It hurts a lot.
How'd you fix it?
Not with American healthcare.
Bacon
Yeah.
grease.
Bacon grease. I'm 3 episodes in, and I am loving Andor Season 2. I normally don't love anything Star Wars related, but this show is so spectacular, probably because it's so not Star Wars.
Mm.
Speaking of something I usually don't love, but do now, The Last of Us. More specifically, The Last of Us 2. The second season just did that controversial thing that happened in the game, but the show did it way better.
Yeah.
Turns out all Druckmann needed was a little Craig Mazin in his life, as the first season of the show was even better than the first game, and I actually liked the first game. My question this week is on another show I started watching, and that's the Netflix miniseries, Adolescence. John, as our resident Englishman, have you seen this sucker? I won't spoil anything. We've talked about it so many times on the show.
That's why I'm
I won't
confused.
spoil anything other than the fact that it takes place in England. I haven't seen it all yet, but 2 episodes in, I can already highly recommend that your gammon eating ass does too. And if you have, how did you feel about it? When was the last time your brother watched the show?
Yeah, like
Maybe probably makes it a few
we all
hours in and
remember-
it's time for bed.
Nick had a terrible take on this show where he immediately misinterpreted the entire point and insisted
And
that they
won't
rewrite it.
he won't
to do
admit that he
other
doesn't
things.
I didn't
understand it.
misinterpret. I understood it. I
Nope.
just didn't agree with that's the angle they should
He
have
thinks
gone
it
with.
should be a
Didn't
different
misinterpret
show.
it. I
And
didn't
look, this is how
misinterpret.
easily we can just like whoosh,
Yeah.
wind him
I
in.
didn't misinterpret anything.
It's an excellent show and a standout piece of television and a glorious piece of cinematography.
It would have been a
and
mystery
filmmaking and
show.
acting. It's good. It's a great show, but it's not a mystery show. That's not the point.
Look,
It's not a whodunit.
look, Kaleif. Here's the problem with the show. To warn you, it's
Don't
only
spoil it.
4
Don't
episodes.
spoil
It's
it.
only 4 episodes, luckily. So you can just try it out.
Have you
and see
got
for
kids,
yourself.
Kaleif?
No kids, no.
Okay. It
Lucky
hits
you're
harder
lucky
if
now.
you've got kids
Ah,
and
okay.
you like them.
Now, the show needed more than 4 episodes to really get its point across. It tried to do too much with too little,
The world
said
it was brilliant.
which
Except
you'll
for Nick.
discover when you watch it. As to The Last of Us, man, my wife was devastated.
Yeah,
she
mine
was
too.
Devastated.
She did
2
not
days
know.
later, she's like, I still can't believe they killed him. She's like, she's like, what do I watch now?
Whoa! Spoilers!
She's
Whoa!
like, what do I
It's been
Oh
5
my
years.
god. I had a guy who's been following me for years on Twitter, and all because I posted a spoiler that Joel dies, he got upset and blocked me. I'm like, the game came out 5 years ago, bro. Like, what did you... Everyone's been joking and memeing about, season 2. Like,
Uh-huh.
which... Are you for real? Like, come on, man. Like, statute of limitations. 5 years surely is the statute of limitations.
19 years wasn't enough for me when it came to Oblivion.
Yeah, apparently. But like my
Well-
wife she was crying so much. She's like, because she thought, oh yeah, he's gonna get saved at the last minute, and I'm watching, waiting for this. I'm like, I know exactly what's coming.
Uh-huh.
And then she's like, oh yeah, he's gonna get saved. Oh yeah, Ellie's gonna break free and save him. Oh, his brother's gonna come in and save him, and he does not get saved. And she's like, huh? She was like, and she's just crying her ass off. She's like, why
Man.
would they kill him? I'm like, that's what happened in the game.
I
It's
remember
not-
watching
Go ahead,
the
go.
Reigns of Castamere, that
Oh.
that episode, the Red Wedding, and we had a watch party, so I had like 6 people around. I was the only person that had read the books, and I just sat back and I heard the start playing, and I just got my phone and I was just like. I was in hog heaven, man. I was just like, this is the best.
It's so
So-
good when you know what's coming.
Yeah,
So good. My wife was like, and literally said, "Oh, they wouldn't do that." And
Yes.
I have to be like stone faced because I'm trying not to kill it
Yeah.
for her. Like she's probably like walk through the living room while I'm playing this thing, for the first time, and didn't know and didn't see any of the stuff, and I've been really just like not telling her anything, and she saw that part and she was just like done. She was like quiet, and I'm sitting there like, man, they could have swung at least 2 more times. They could have did a little bit more. I need more gore here. Like I need squishiness in this.
The Abby casting, good actress, but just a very different vibe than the game had.
Yeah,
They
I
could have
like
cast
how
her as Ellie, as
they
older
could
Ellie.
have. They could have for sure. But man,
My
So
wife
happy.
was gutted, absolutely gutted. Like she doesn't
So
want to
good.
really want to watch the show anymore. She's like,
yeah,
"Is the
yeah.
rest of the show just about revenge now?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
well, kinda. Yeah.
You're not going to really like
mhm.
anyone you like in that story is probably it's not going to go too great for them.
You know what would have been an amazing casting? Because don't get me wrong, I adore Pedro Pascal,
Yeah.
but you know what would have been an amazing casting for Joel and Ellie?
Henry Cavill.
Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Josh
Yeah, yeah.
Brolin as Joel,
Yeah.
and Kaylee from Alien Romulus
Oh yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
as
I can see that.
Ellie. Oh my god, that would have been incredible.
I'd really actually want Abby to be buff in this though,
Yeah.
but then she is not. But
Should have been
That's
that
fine.
Katie
Yeah,
O'Brien.
a little bit more, a little
Yeah.
bit. More like Arnie.
Missed opportunity. Well, I mean, at least we'll get Sydney Sweeney from the front.
They always go.
Yeah.
They always go back to
Yeah.
wayfish and cute. Like every major female role almost always ends up wayfish and cute.
Yeah.
Kaleif, I'm really sorry about what's about to happen.
I get it. I understand.
Oh, here we go. Next question.
I'm looking. I don't know what that's about. I don't even know what that is. What is happening? What is going on? Okay. I get
Hytham
it.
G.
Yeah.
Hytham G.
Hytham G. Okay. Did you gents have a good Easter? I hope. And other than that, really, well, we all thought that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe would have been a forever game without having a successor, since it did sold like hotcakes. Although we got Mario Kart World, but do you all think that Mario Kart World will be a forever game, selling like hotcake like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? But your gents' take on the Mario Kart situation? P.S. Imagine Smash Ultimate getting an overhaul and massive update for the Switch 2, and imagine it is called Smash Brothers World, or whatever the title is, which is a live service of that game with 89 characters joining
Yes,
that
Smash.
Smash with a whole can of worms of characters joining Smash. Look, it's Nintendo. Mario Kart World will not be a forever game. It will be a decade-long game, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was. So what'll happen is you'll have Mario Kart World, then on Switch 3, you'll get like an update or Mario Kart World Deluxe or some shit like that. So it'll go for like a decade or more, but at some point Nintendo will always have a sequel, no matter how iterative.
Yeah.
Same with Smash. There'll be a Smash for Switch 2, and that will be again, close to a decade-long game. Unless the Switch 2 somehow just dies in the arse and bombs, which I doubt. They'll still have their sequels, even if those sequels are much further apart. That's what I think.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, fair. Nailed that.
I love
Poor
Hytham's
Hytham.
questions.
Poor Hytham.
I love Hytham's
Hytham's
questions.
a favourite moment every time he rolls around.
I
Mostly
love
because
those questions.
yeah,
Poor Hytham.
he always
I
asks the
love the
important
sentence
questions.
structure. I love everything about it. I love all his questions.
It's the highlight of the community questions for me, and I genuinely mean that.
No, I'm serious. I'm not being a smart ass. I'm saying I love Hytham's questions.
Yeah.
Next, from our CEO.
Two left.
Prawn
Two
Raptor.
left.
Yep. G'day, podcasters. This week I ask a question for Nick on behalf of forum user Jimmy1984. I swear Jimmy used to be a patron. Disappointed he left. His questions are: do you think Age of Empires 5 is already under development? And what about Relic Entertainment? Any chance of them joining the Xbox family? Cheers, big ears. Look, I don't see Sega letting go of Relic. The only way I see Relic joining Xbox is if Xbox buys Sega. Which, look, I'm not going to completely put a line through that. I'm still going to cling to that tiny, tiny hope. Age of Empires 5, I wouldn't be surprised if it's probably in the initial stages.
I don't know, man.
Active development. Maybe not active development, but
I think they look at how the user base might burn through one, but they will always just go back to 2 for the hardcore, and they'll probably be like, that's why.
I get that. But I reckon that World's Edge and I reckon Relic and Sega would also want them actively working on something and getting paid to do something too.
Fair. Yeah. Maybe an RTS in a different IP or genre.
If I
don't
wasn't
know.
eating, I'd laugh at you two because Relic went independent as far as I remember.
Did they really?
Relic
When?
are independent. Yeah, that is true.
Oh,
When did that happen?
Late last year.
Yeah,
if
a few
memory
months
serves.
ago.
What?
We're gonna get bought. Yeah, perfect.
Wow, look at that. Well, then maybe Microsoft will buy them.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or
would make
contract them, at
sense.
least.
Oh, you know what, Jesse? You're right. I just remembered we've talked about this before and talked about how they should buy them and merge them with World's Edge. Jesus, as I get older, my memory just fucking goes, man.
To be
Oh,
fair,
you just wait.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Microsoft have like
Nice.
30 studios, so it's fair to get a little confounded sometimes with what's what, you know.
Yeah, but Relic, I doubt Relic would be separate from World's Edge in a scenario where Microsoft acquires them. Why would you keep them separate? Just merge them, keep the name Relic, because it's got the name versus World's Edge. Keep the name Relic and just stick it all together.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't, because World's Edge is more of an incubation, small team, as opposed to a fully fledged studio.
That makes sense.
But then it made sense for Microsoft to buy Creative Assembly, and they didn't do that. So who the hell knows?
You're getting called out in
Who
the
hell
chat,
knows
by the
with
way, Nick.
Microsoft? What?
You're getting called out by Derek Hubbard.
What do you mean? Who? What happened?
You've upset.
Spoilers.
You've upset
for
a viewer.
Who?
Derek Hubbard.
Derek in the
Hubbard.
chat, he's like, you were wrong to have given that spoiler on The Last of Us. A lot of viewers still haven't seen the show yet, such as myself. And if they've never played the game,
Man, if in the last 5 years you haven't discovered that happens in the game, like fuck, like
Or been on the internet.
yeah, like being on Twitter, being
If
on
this
any
was a
form of
TV
social
podcast
media.
and not a
Like, come
video
on,
game
man. Like, I'm
podcast,
not-
it's a
don't-
video
I
game
don't
podcast.
normally-
It's fine.
I don't normally go out of my way to do that sort of thing, but there has to be some leeway. Like you're talking about a 5-year-old video game.
to be fair,
all the talk. There
to
was
be
so
fair,
much controversy around it in
you
the
could-
video
you could
game
have-
space. Come on.
you could have just said that thing that happened, and then that would have just been. We all would have known. But Chambo in the chat also upset at Nick. More in the chat. I'm super upset too. Emmett in the chat. Boo, Nick. Can we have the booze, please? More quitting Patreon as we speak.
I got Nick on this one. Here's something I'll add to this one. Did you also know that Final Fantasy on the NES came out in 1987? That's a spoiler.
What?
I'm just saying. It happened. It happened.
Man.
Like, there are video games I haven't played ever, old video games, where I still know the big controversy that came from those video games. Because if you're into video games, you hear about these things. You just do if
but-
you're really in the bubble.
Nick, I would never,
argue
for
most of
instance,
our chat
say
in the bubble.
I would never let people know that Snape killed Dumbledore.
Oh,
What?
wow. I've not read the
Wait.
books.
Oh no!
Well, definitely don't buy him
I've
now.
not- Oh, man.
Come on. Again, you guys, anyone who's been watching this show for many, many years, I don't go out of my way to spoil stuff. I don't. Even though I don't care about spoilers, I know a lot of
A
people.
lot
do.
of people throwing fruit in the chat. I'm
But
just
there
saying.
has to be a statute of limitations on some things.
I've
And
also
I would
heard.
argue. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I've also heard that Kryptonite hurt Superman.
Whoa.
Fucking
I've-
wild.
I've
Well,
heard-
he's gonna
Revelations.
die.
Did you just spoil the new movie?
Oh
Did you just
shit!
spoil the new movie now?
Honestly,
That dog
bro,
is not real.
that is my one criticism of all Superman movies. Is it's Superman is invulnerable. Someone's got kryptonite. Superman
Hey.
is no longer invulnerable.
They,
You know in Bioshock?
would you kindly tell me about Bioshock?
There's a part at the end of Bioshock where the bad guy goes, "Would you kindly?" And
Oh,
you
fuck.
I'll do
realise-
whatever you want.
Yeah, you
What?
realize that he's been guiding you the whole way. That fucks with your head.
Stop playing.
Did you
Or is he
know?
Maverick
Did you
in the
know
chat.
Verbal Kint was actually Kaiser Soze?
Oh, Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was one of the greatest twists. I was 15 when I watched The Usual Suspects.
Mm.
And when I watched Kevin Spacey walk out of that interview, start walking normal, I was like,
I lost my shit. I was like, oh my god.
I was like,
I can't-
oh my god.
BT
that was
Maverick 707
amazing.
in the chat says, guys, Bruce Willis was dead the whole
No
time.
way.
Oh no.
That was true for most of the recent movies he was in, unfortunately.
Oh,
Wow.
Bruce.
Wait, hold on. Darren Cool. Hey, Darren Cool.
I'm banning him.
Spoiler, Darth Vader is Luke's father.
God damn it.
What?
No.
No
Man,
way.
this is
Did
getting-
you want to know
this is getting
something? I
too
got a new
much.
spoiler. The movie hasn't even come out yet. The Thunderbolts. Not going to die in it. I know.
No way.
Yeah, their chairs were all there for Doomsday. It means they're probably going to survive this one.
God damn it.
Not
What?
Taskmaster's
That's
chair, though.
bullshit. That's bullshit. Man.
Oh well.
God damn it,
Everything's
Nissa.
ruined now.
All right, we got to move off of this. People keep ruining
Everything's
everything.
ruined. Everything's
The
ruined.
Titanic sunk. Why didn't anyone tell me the Titanic sunk?
Oh God.
But Leonardo DiCaprio's still alive in real life.
Oh, right. Okay.
Possible.
It's the last community question,
It's,
and then we
yeah,
can
it's-
stop this nonsense.
It's as long as
All right.
every community question before
Come
it.
on, guys. Give me that one. I don't spoil stuff normally. Give me that one.
No, I don't
Come
give you anything.
5 years old. Come on, please. Let's be reasonable about this. Come on. Okay. Last question.
The community paragraph.
Fucking hell, that's a thesis.
This is a long question, Finn.
It's Finn. I know. This is Finn. Come on, mate.
Even the category's long.
I love the look that Nick just gave to the camera. He was like, "For fuck's sake!"
I like
That's
that
great.
Aussie accent you just do there. Good day to John,
Good day.
Nick, and Jesse. And welcome for first time on XboxEra, Kahlief Adams, aka
Hello.
Car Can't Cook. Hope your evening or
Can.
morning as well. As I grow older and older, I begin to grow mellow on how news is reported. I can't tell what's being overdramatic / low-hanging fruit, rage bait conversation, and what better example to display with Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster and Clair Obscur Expedition 33 dropping on the same week, which, by the way, are two different genres for two different audiences. Yes, one is an old established over a decade ago, and one is a new IP. And the stupid BS headlines I've read online in gaming discourse every other week. My God, this sentence needs a break, dude. From not reading the actual article instead of the headline, grabbing numbers and twisting them into misinformation, and so on and so forth. Don't know, but I just tune those conversations / talking points out, as there is no guaranteed winner on either side. Kind of glad I left behind Twitter. It's literally X-Twitter, Twitter, and you know why. To Blue Sky, where it's more peaceful and I can control my own content tailored to me and mute / block out weirdos over there. By the way, verification is now on Blue Sky, so nice of them getting them rolling that out now. Helps distinguish who is legit versus who isn't. Still like username URLs though. Adds a different kind of perk to your Blue Sky account. Oh my God, that was so much. Let me have a
Deep breaths, mate. Deep breaths. You
It's
got
been a
this.
long time since we had Karis's Corner.
Oh my God.
Uh,
And since RPGs are back on the menu, or have already been on the platter but slowly cooking, I wouldn't mind for the next mainline Final Fantasy game to do what Clair Obscur has done. And please remaster or remake Lost Odyssey. It's that one JRPG that deserves to be played by many more people. It pains that Xbox hasn't ported it to PC. 2 questions. Oh my
Wow.
God, that wasn't even questions yet.
it was just statements.
that was a soliloquy.
Oh. Do you
False
get
goals.
exhausted
Of
Do you
reading
get
this question.
exhausted of seeing the constant rage of misleading information thrown out there and it just goes nowhere to the point of neither side winning? I know for a fact in my part, just stop. You look like a donkey for doing that.
Yes.
Yes.
Who? Yes, we do. It is exhausting. Like the I'm so numb to all the YouTube thumbnails and
Mm-hmm.
all. I'm so numb to it now that I just glaze over and it's just
Brain
like,
rot,
no.
and I just don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. Could we hopefully see Square Enix do what Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has done in terms of gameplay for the next mainline Final Fantasy game, if that ever happens? I could see, like, Final Fantasy, did you see the Twitter account actually, like, congratulated them and shouted them out?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be
good.
surprised, because people are raving about the battle system in Clair Obscur.
So he lied.
So,
He said 2 questions. There's a third.
Oh, there's a third.
okay.
Son of a bitch.
And this is a question to Kahlief. Why Car Can't Cook? I know you and Parris joke and poke about this, but what is the story behind
We got
it?
it.
He's already
Yeah, we
answered,
got
he's
it.
already
Yeah,
answered
any
that.
Yeah,
law
we
we
have
need
to
to know.
I want to hear
And then
Nick's
he's
French
got some
accent here.
French. Oh, here we go. Je vous souhaite une très bonne et splendide journée.
You mostly just don't say the last letters. You just let them go to nothing.
Oh, I used to be. I did French in high school, and I came
What's her name?
third in a state
Oh.
poetry competition.
Oh, look at you.
So I used to be really good at French.
Congrats,
But it
mate.
like being Greek helps pronounce other European languages properly. It does help somewhat. But yes, thanks, it's Finn, for straining my vocal cords like that. That was good.
When you said I did French, I thought the next word was going to be Stuart.
No. That's it.
That's it.
We did it's Finn go over the lore and history behind.
And it
the
is very
cooking.
tiring to get all the obvious bad faith. I take one side, you take the other. We yell at each other, talk radio style shit. Like it's all bullshit. Never engage with it. Which I tell us to Nick, but he does it all the time anyways.
What?
You always engage with people that are very obviously full of shit and just trying to rile
I
you
know,
up.
but that's because I'm Gen X. I'm Gen X, and I can't. As a Gen Xer, I can't help myself. Like, I haven't learned. Like, my brother, who is a millennial, he's always saying to me, he's like, why do you reply to those people? I go,
Because the
"I can't fucking
truth
help
must
myself."
matter.
Yeah, like, I can't help myself. My Gen X brain is like, nah, man, you've got to tell these fucking morons
Someone's
what's
wrong
going
on the internet, and they have to be
Yes,
advised.
someone is wrong on the internet. Like, you got to correct them.
Just in case anyone was wondering, Finn wished us a splendid day.
Oh,
Thank you, Finn.
that's nighttime now.
Thanks, Finn.
Lovely.
I need
Lovely.
to rest for the day after reading that question. Thanks.
Oh man, I've got an 11-year-old birthday party tomorrow for my son. He's 11.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
Really?
It's
I thought the 11-year-old birthday party was for a 12-year-old.
that. What year, my dear?
Yeah, that's right. See what I mean?
Was he
wasn't even
born
in that
Nick?
fucking year, right?
Oh dear.
Great.
That's
I
the
got
end
him
of
a
the show.
I got him a Minecraft grown-up crafting table Lego set.
Oh,
And
wow.
It was 1,200 pieces.
I didn't say pounds. I was like,
That kid put it together in like 4 hours. I was just like, he just done. I was like, oh wow, okay, cool.
Did you then go over, smack it, break it, and then have
Yeah,
to do it again?
yeah. Well, maybe I'll smash it. I'll blame it on the cats in the morning.
that's the type of insane focus on a single task that would get RFK Jr. want to put him on a list.
Yeah. Can't have that. Mind you, though, have you guys noticed that how none of those medical conditions that science has investigated, researched, and discovered existed 80 years ago?
I mean,
It's
again,
weird,
that's
right?
that's the next one, Jesse. For what year, my dear?
What year was autism invented by the government? No. All right. Okay. It's the end of the show. Kaleif, it has been an absolute
Thank
and
you
genuine
for joining
pleasure
us.
having you on
Oh,
for the
You
entire
were
show
a
as
much
well.
better
Kudos.
guest than Parris.
I knew that coming in. I knew that going in. I was like, whatever he's done, I'm gonna blow that
Do
out.
it
He
of
left
the
after 2 hours.
Immediately.
You stayed.
Instantly.
Yeah, he stayed the whole way. Didn't think
Yeah.
he was too good for us and left early. Nothing.
You see? I mean,
I love
you
it.
know,
In case people aren't following you yet, wherever they may follow you, please do wax lyrical about where they can find you, engage with you, and watch your wonderful content, sir.
Oh my goodness! First of all, thank you, gents, for having me. It is again when you were like, "Hey, come through, come hang out." I knew it was going to be fun, but it is amazingly fun to be able to hang out with y'all. The energy is always fantastic,
that.
and seriously, like one of the best shows on the planet. Like you continue to blow it out of the water and
Thanks, mate.
continue to just put out really fun, smart content. So I'm very blessed to be able to rock with y'all tonight. So thank you for having me. And check out my stuff all across the net. We're on all podcast platforms. If you want to see the video versions of Spawn on Me now in year 11, you can check us out on Spotify for the video stuff. YouTube as well, youtube.com/Spotify. I'm not, that's not the way that works. youtube.com/Spawn on Me. And you can find all of the content there. We're debuting a new show. If you want to hear me and Parris talk a bunch of crap about the real world and other stuff, we are debuting a new show that we are doing called the Positivity Peddlers.
I love
Who did
it.
that intro for it? That
What was
video
that?
intro. Who did
Who
that
did-
intro that was on Twitter?
Oh, me. That was me.
Really?
Man's
Yeah.
got skills.
That mountain thing.
Yeah. Videohive.net
that's cool.
is a wonderful place if you don't know how to make shit. You can
Okay.
go there and find yourself a wonderful template for
Love it.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing that show. We're gonna do that, put that on Patreon for the first time. We're actually gonna do a collab show, which we've been dying to do for a long time. So we're gonna record and our first episodes this weekend, talking about why we're doing it and what the kind of thrust behind it. And we're going to be talking a ton of shit because it's going to be, more about less video games and more about life and how we're kind of doing interesting things around
Real
that.
talk though.
Yeah.
Is this just a prelude to try and get Parris tricked into filming Beat the Meat?
He's never going to do it. He's never going to do it. I mean, we saw what happened to Shannon Sharp, so he's definitely not going to do it. A whole other conversation for everybody knows what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be more of like, I think people have had an understanding or an idea of who we are as humans, because they attach whatever thing they do to people who are, in the public space. And now we get a chance to kind of like dig into the real conversations that we've been wanting to have and talk about those things. So excited for that. Very hyped for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And Spawnies, we're still looking for sponsors for Spawnies to come through and do something there, because it would be great to be able to do Spawnies this year. It would land in February of next year. But with this roundup of games for 2025, like it would be so fun to see the community fight over who's going to win in a big way. And I have some fun ideas for how we can make that show even better. So again, thank you all for having me. And the community, the XboxEra crew is always fantastic, and the community is always brilliant. So thank you all for the love and for letting me rock.
Man,
Thanks,
our
heaps,
pleasure.
mate.
Thank you so much. Chat, it has been an absolute blast, as always, holding the show and chatting through video games and everything else this week. We hope you've enjoyed it too, apart from Nick ruining all of your viewing experiences for many movies, films, and pop culture references for the last 20 years. Outside of that, if you want to tune in for more, we will not. This is just a heads up for folks that enjoy the news show that we hold twice a week, XboxEra Headlines. There is no episode of Headlines this Tuesday. Jesse has a preview. I have a thing. Sorry. We'll either gather up all the news and do a big one on Thursday in some sort of extravagant way, but we'll take care of it. But other than that, keep your eyes tuned on XboxEra.com for whatever the hell we've got planned in the pipeline this week. Jesse, have we got anything planned in the pipeline this week?
Not that I can talk about. It's annoying. Embargoes are stupid, but we agree to them.
But that's life. That's life. We'll be back, though, failing that, Thursday with Headlines, and, of course, on Saturday night for the XboxEra podcast. And we'll see you then. Until then, be good to each other. Play loads of video games. Try not to take life too seriously. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I'm hit. Can't tell if this is true or dream. Deep down inside I feel the scream. This terrible silence stops me. Now that the war is through with me, I'm waking up, I cannot see that there's not much left of me. Nothing is real but pain. Now hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh please God, wake me. Back in the womb, it's much too real. It comes life that I must feel, but can't look forward to reveal. Look to the time when I live, fed through the tube that sticks in me, just like a wartime novelty, tied to machines that make me be. Cut this life off from me. See Metallica live, get tickets as low as 50 dudes. You might also like House of Memories, Epic at the disco, Cherchon Toi, Kini Arkana, Ballad of a Homeschool Girl, Olivia Rodrigo. Hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh please God, wake me. I see absolute horror. I cannot live, I cannot die, trapped in my myself, body my holding cell. Landmine is taking my sight, taking my speech, taking my hearing, taking my arms, taking my legs, taking my soul. Left me with life